So are we just waiting on Zuggy and Perrin?
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
What up, friend?
Yo. It's like you just got up.
Nah, I had a little bit of a cat nap. I had to do a whole bunch of things.
This is the one week I absolutely hate my boss.
Because you got to be there early tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I'm pissed about it. I mean, who wants to work on their birthday, really?
Oh yeah, today's your birthday, right? Happy birthday.
Well, today for you, tomorrow for me.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Isn't today like Star Wars Day or something?
Yeah, it's May the 4th.
Man, it's kind of funny because my brother wants to get into D&D, except he can only play on the weekends.
That sucks.
And like I already have enough like time constraints DMing this game. I don't really want to DM a second game and like take away from this game.
Yeah, the game I was running on Sundays, I pretty much just abandoned. I'll tell you the last time I ran that game on. Actually, I probably couldn't. So. I think it was in February. January even.
Wow, is that your RL game or?
No, it was the game I was running on Sundays for Balkan and his friends, but a lot of them got school, and right now Balkan's in Barcelona.
Yeah, I was playing in I told you I was playing in that game with fucking Batho and yeah, that fucking imploded.
Oh, this is what people just get angry at each other?
Not me and Batho, but like one of the people, the DM who was playing on there, like, fuck, he's like the worst DM I've ever fucking seen. Like, mechanically and like story wise, he was okay, but he was just such a fucking dick.
Oh, gotcha.
Like literally, he like I wrote like a very vague backstory. I think I told you this.
Possible.
Yeah, I wrote like a very vague backstory, and then like we came up to church somewhere, and there was like a pastor mourning, and then like I just thought, oh, it's kind of like similar to my backstory. He's like a worshiper of like Lythander or something, who's like the sun, and I'm like I too am a sun worshiper, and then like the DM was like, I forgot what he fucking said, but later on he like said PM me and then said like something about like my backstory, and I just told him like, I left it rather vague, but like it is part of like the character's backstory that like it's like a worshiper of the light or the sun or whatever. And then he was like saying like, please expand it, it's too vague. So I sent him like a really really fucking snarky like the way he said it, and then so like I just like returned to him like a fucking like a
Wall of text.
two paragraph no like a 2-paragraph no verb summary of her backstory, and then he like accused me of like making shit up on yeah that's what he said. He accused me of making shit up on the spot and like wanted to read my backstory.
Taking shit too seriously.
And I'm just like, dude, like first off, I had it in I'm like the only person with a semi-vague like a backstory in the fucking character sheet. And 2, so what if I fucking made shit up on the spot? That's fucking D&D. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's the whole point.
But yeah, man. Oh man. Yeah, no, yeah, just no. I like GTFO'd.
If I was back home, I would probably either run more, because I would like to DM a game. It's just every other day it's something new. That and Fallout. I'm not gonna lie, Fallout has a lot to do with it. Yesterday I got the season pass for all the DLC.
Oh yeah.
And I want to make a new character.
Oh man, I can't tell you how many hours of Fallout. Actually, I can. Let's see. Fallout 4, right?
Yep.
516 hours.
Yeah, I'm at. I think I'm maybe in the 70s. It's my first like highest. He's like level. I'm actually starting to use the power armor.
Oh yeah. You know what? I actually stopped using power armor after a while because like I don't know. I guess I play much more of a stealth game when it comes to Fallout 4.
I normally do, but this new character will make. Hey, Juggy, I am going to go like all electrical, like the smart weapons.
Right. All right. I guess we should get started if everyone's ready.
I am ready.
I'm hearing about and I can hear everything.
Oh no, we'll wait.
I'm
Not
doing
everyone is
dishes,
in.
so I can talk and wash.
I'm looking at all the Star Wars games on Steam. They're like 75% off, and it's like I already have the Old Republic games.
Yeah, some friends of mine have been trying to convince me to get back into KOTOR, SWOTOR rather.
Yeah. Rumor is they're making an actual third Knights of the Republic.
Apparently, that was an April Fool's joke.
Don't you say these things to me?
Yeah, I fucking yeah. I had the same response.
The worst part of April Fool's things is when they don't put April Fool's on them, and then you're reading it 3 weeks or 4 weeks later, and you're like, oh, that's pretty neat. And then you go to another article or whatever, and then you go back to that other one because you're like, hang on a second, those were contradictory. And then you read the date on the article, and you're like, oh, okay, duh.
April Fool's jokes are never funny, and they're just super fucking annoying.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I told my friend that, the new, like the Rick and Morty thing, season 3's on right now. He has to turn on Cartoon Network. Oh, I don't have it. Well, maybe you can find it on Adult Swim, and if you went to Adult Swim and said, April Fools, they're really not showing season 3. And he's like, oh, that's real funny. I'm like, dude, I'm not joking. It's on right now. And he just didn't have cable, so the only way he could have watched it was on, and then I was like, dude, he got mad at me because he thought I was just fucking with him.
Yeah, I went to their site on April Fool's because I was like, this has to be a joke, but knowing Rick and Morty, it's probably not a joke. So I clicked on it, and it was like 3/4 of the way through the episode. So I clicked off of it, and then the second time I came back to it, it just finished playing the opening credits, so I missed like the first 2 seconds of it.
He was just at Shoney's. I bought a Morty Funko Pop the other day. It's just him holding. It's him holding the Mega Seeds.
I love the April Fool's reports that actually say, "Hey, happy April Fool."
Yeah, like I don't mind like the Blizzard thing, like where we're doing all these changes to WoW and Overwatch, but it's obviously to make it easy, we're just completely removing mages from the game. Stuff that's obviously fake.
All right. Anyway, I think we'll get started. There's nothing like majorly thing that we need to have everyone at the Roll20 table. Does anyone remember what happened last session?
Shopping.
Yes.
We were
Shopping.
we had gotten a lead, I think, on what we believed to be the butcher. Or no, and then we sent the first team after to go investigate while we recreated.
And then some
Correct.
guy talked to me and said, "Hey, there's a dead or that child or whatever for the family that we have the box of went missing in the sewers. You guys were down there. Can you take me back?"
Yeah, he had heard rumors that you guys were familiar with that section of the sewers, and he told you that he was looking for the missing Alexandrian child, who was purportedly tracked to that section of the sewers. And he wanted to hire you guys to escort him, essentially, and to have a poke around the sewers. Yeah, and you guys had sent, I think, Frosty's team to look into, well, rather Dolman sent them to look into a number of alchemist shops. You guys had read some note as a bookmark inside the Bloodworks, like that laboratory. There was that lead-lined book in there, and it had a bookmark in it that mentioned something about an alchemist shop, like moving his operation back to some alchemist shop in Market Street. Except the problem was there's a number of alchemist shops in Market Street, so.
I think we agreed that we were leaving the box here, though, correct? We weren't bringing it with us?
That's up to you guys.
Yeah, we were not bringing the box with us.
Okay. All right, so I think Montgomery, who is the Smith and Sons scent hound, the guy who hired you guys, I think he doesn't actually. I don't think he asks you guys to lead him to where you access the source. Instead, he goes to like a public works building that's located near the area that you guys usually going through. I know you guys keep thinking it's the Blue Pony Inn, but like the Blue Pony Inn is an inn in the Warrens. I forget exactly what this place's establishment is called. But yeah, where you fooled the guy with your fake inspector's license thing. He doesn't go in through there. He goes into like a public works building near that area, and he like approaches some guy in an alley who appears to be waiting for him, and like they exchange some kind of like he hands over like a small pouch that clinks. You surmise that it's probably like filled with coin or whatever, and the guy hands over like a key, a big like almost ornamental in its size. Like the size of a big key, like 3 inches long, with like a big brass loop on the end.
I'm going under the guys that were hunting for the crocodile, right? I believe that's what they used, or was I going with a possibility of?
I explained it to you, what's going on, and I said, you said you didn't want to hunt it, like go down there solely for hunting it without the barbarian guy.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll get bait. All right.
Yeah, but he was out with Frosty investigating the alchemist shop.
We didn't want to leave that kid down there to die if he was still alive. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, and yeah, he takes this big brass key. He gestures for you guys to follow as this shady individual scurries deeper into the alleyway and vanishes into a doorway. And he just says, "Well, shall we? I have the key for the sewer access here."
Did I? Nah. Never mind. All right, I'm ready.
I believe the plan was for the three of us, meaning Pop, me, and Obadiah to lead the way, and then for this guy and Thalia to trail behind us a little bit so that he didn't necessarily get into trouble.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he insisted on coming along.
sure. If that's what you recommend, then he nods, bowing to your expertise. Yeah, and he heads over to the public works house, slips the key into these big double doors, creaks them open. It's clearly they're not frequently used, probably only used by, I don't know, technicians or whatever that need to go into the sewers to fix stuff. And he you guys enter inside, and there's a small utilitarian, almost locker room. There's a couple of posters, warnings regarding workplace safety, and there's an access ladder with a hatch at the end of it.
0 days since alligator attack.
All the OSHA stuff.
Yeah, so what do you guys do?
Well, it's pretty dark down there. I mean, I'm assuming it's dark down there, right?
If it's dark outside,
last
it's
time-
fairy light or whatever, dancing light.
Right. Yeah, last time you guys went down there, you guys remembered that there wasn't any steady or frequent light source. You had to provide your own lighting.
Arthur also has light cast on him,
There we go.
so that he's lit up.
Yeah, I think Montgomery pokes around in one of the lockers and pulls out a lantern. It's just a simple a hooded lantern with a little lever beside it that flicks open and closes the hood. And then he mutters something about it being dry or something, and he fumbles through a couple of more lockers until he finds some lamp oil. Yeah, and then he lights the lamp and looks at you four expectantly.
And then he sees the dancing light.
Yeah. I actually think he doesn't make any comment of it regarding the dancing lights nor the where did you place the light source, Arthur? Is it on your shield?
It's usually either on his shield or on his chest. I think it's probably on his chest.
Okay, yeah. So he doesn't seem particularly surprised by your arcane and the divination, or I guess it's not divination.
Divine.
Yeah, divine magics. He doesn't seem particularly surprised.
I guess if we climb down the ladder, would you go first, Arthur?
Of course.
And
Yeah. Okay.
I'll follow him, and when I get down there, I'm gonna put my new combat mask on, because never again, and then and then construct my rifle and just have it out and just stay at Arthur's hip.
All right. So you guys actually find yourself, Arthur. As soon as you climb down, you take a glance around. You guys actually find yourself in a familiar location. Oddly enough, you find yourself in the office space that you came across on off an alcove on one of the main thoroughfares in the sewers. It was I think it was there was an office building in an office room in there with a section of just tools and supplies and stuff. I think you guys stole a crowbar from here, and I think
There also something under the desk where there was a drop point.
yeah.
I want to check that drop point again and see if there's any extra gold.
There is not. However, there is a note. Yeah, no, it's just a small folded card. And on you flip open the card, and on the inside of it, drawn with some sort of purple pigment, is just a simple question mark. It's about the size of your thumb.
I will pocket it.
Okay.
Man, we're just fucking with anybody over here. This is the location where Thalia got her waving pants.
Yeah, it is. It is. It was from one of the lockers. Yeah, you got like a workers, like one of those Louisiana swamp waders, whatever they're called.
And I didn't get a crowbar. I got like a grappling hook to drag the thing with where you.
Oh,
came
right,
across
yeah.
The blob thing that.
Yeah, so in here there's like crowbars. Like in the equipment section, there's like crowbars. There's a couple of hooded lanterns. There's like a couple of like grappling hooks in various conditions, like rusty to relatively new. None of this stuff is new, obviously, but their condition varies. And then there's like a couple of shovels. They don't seem like they're particularly secured. There's no locks on any of the cabinets or anything.
Is there any rope lying around?
There is. There's some fairly cheap looking like hempen rope, a couple of coils of it like hanging off a peg hook.
I will take that. Because my rope is gone because I use it as a fuse. So it's about 20 foot.
Yeah, I think one of the ropes is about 20 foot. The other is a full 30 foot.
I will take them both if no one has any issue with it. Do you guys mind? Anyone need any rope?
Do they belong to the city?
Montgomery speaks up and says, I suppose they belong to this Sewers Public Works. I'm not sure if they'd be okay with you just taking it, but
Fine.
I suppose there's no one around to see.
I'll leave the 20-foot one and take the 30-foot one and say, better to have it and need it than need it and not have it.
Sure. And yeah, actually, while you guys are doing this, Montgomery hadn't like made particular note of it because he's like what is he doing? He's got like a small pouch, and he's like pinching what almost appears to be some sort of like pink salt or something, like that Himalayan salt that all the fucking people are going weird over. And he's got it like sprinkling on the ground, and then he's got some sort of like some sort of like feather duster thing that he pulls out of like another small pouch, and he starts like kind of like dusting the powder. And you watch the powder kind of like as he shifts it backwards and forwards, the powder kind of forms like an elongated triangle. So not a what are they called? Isometric triangle, where like all the angles are equal. Like this is like an elongated version.
No, equilateral. Well,
Yeah, equilateral. Yeah. So this one, like, it's almost like an arrow that's pointed in a particular direction.
Is it
And
pointing
it's,
the way we came?
No, it's pointed towards like the west, and southwards a little bit. This direction.
Does it look like Miles trying to figure out if he's just marking our way or if he's doing something arcane?
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you can detect. Actually, I'll change the music a little bit. But yeah, you can detect like traces of Arcana throughout his workings. It's definitely some kind of like you surmise it's some kind of divination spell.
And Milo just said to him, "Oh, you'll have to show me about that. You know tricks you didn't tell us about."
He kind of like looks up as he's doing this, and he kind of like gives you like a grin, like a smile, and he just says, "Ha, well, there's some tricks of the trade. They do call us scent hounds for a reason. This powder," and he just taps at the powder, is ashes, specially prepared ashes, prepared from an article of clothing of the person we are locating, with the proper workings and spells. Not that I'm a spellcaster myself, but with the proper preparation, it allows the user to ascertain the closest location of the individual I'm currently seeking. Although it doesn't particularly give, a range, just a general direction, and it can sometimes be fooled by, well, various things. And he kind of like shrugs.
That's pretty useful. You should bottle that and sell it.
he smiles and he says, he kind of like chuckles and he says, unfortunately, this each individual preparation is very specific to the specific individual we're looking for, and you kind of have to have something they've worn for any significant distance. As I understand it, I'm not the one who prepared this concoction. It has to work off like scent or something.
Maybe more of a service for wives and cheating husbands.
He actually nods and he says, "You'd be surprised how many cases." Actually, no. Actually, the majority of cases I typically deal with is spousal related, and they're the worst.
Tell me about it.
It's actually a pleasant, although obviously not a nice circumstance, but it's actually a pleasant change for once to look for someone who's actually in need.
When this
We're
is
here,
done,
correct?
Sorry, what was that?
Where the dog is?
Yes, correct.
maybe when this is done, you can show me more. Neat.
Yeah, he kind of like stands up and he says, "Perhaps," but like I said, I was just issued this. I don't actually know how the process of it being made.
Okay.
If I overheard that, could I have asked? Do you know if does it have to be clothing, or could they use it for? Does it have to be a human?
He kind of like scratches the back of his head, like pondering for a moment, and he says, "As far as I understand, it's something to do with like scent location or something, like the essence of a person. I think it might just have to be something that belongs to the person or the person has been in close contact with for a significant period of time."
Say a tooth?
I mean, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure. I know this stuff is like, and he kind of like hefts it a little bit, is rendered ashes of the article of clothing. Not entirely sure if you can you render bone to ash?
With enough heat, anything can become ash unless it's liquid.
Don't worry about it. The croc's right outside here, anyways, if we're lucky.
Yeah, and Arthur will point at the hallway across if we can see it, or he'll just point in that direction, and he'll say, "There's a pipe over there we can show you if you want more proof of the alligator or the croc."
He kind of like looks a bit like wary, and he kind of like he looks wary and he says, I'll take your word for it.
Well, I mean,
But
we might
yeah,
as well look
like-
since we're down here.
He shifts like foot to foot. Like he shifts his weight a little bit from feet to feet. And he said, and he like, actually, I'm gonna make a roll. Okay, yeah. He says, I suppose there's no harm in making a slight detour. Let's be quick about this, however. I don't suppose I'm the only person who's this close to the trail.
We'll check it on the way back. I didn't know there were competing teams.
I know of at least four other companies who have been hired on this task.
Oh, well then.
And I know at least one of them has gotten permission to has gotten access to our personal effects, similar to how this was rendered. And he like hefts the small. It's like a tiny satch. It's It's like a marble sack.
Well, I'll go to Arthur, shall we? Which way do we go?
He's the one with the diamond.
Yeah, Montgomery points towards the west southwest, like this direction.
Oh, Thalia digs in her satchel and pulls out the map she made.
Yeah. This remind me where you came by, like what you copied of this map. This was from.
She would have only done direction. Like really.
No. Like
basic
where
drawings.
was this map copied from again?
No, when they went down to the smuggler's den, she was drawing everything.
Oh, right, yeah. So yeah, like in terms of like vague terms, I think this is about basically resembling like a very basic version of the map you drawn. This was the sewer blockage area where you guys ran into that mound. This is the area where the Bloodworks, one of the pipes is feeding into.
Okay, and what was the arrow pointing to? Of ashes.
I'm not even going to make you roll. In a general sense, you realize the arrow is pointing roughly in the direction of where you guys found the feeder den.
So that'd be where the waterfall is?
No, yeah,
Oh,
in
yeah, so
that
that's-
direction essentially.
Okay.
The feeder den is down like here.
Okay. So I'd say, yeah, we head toward the feeder den then, at that point. And actually, Thalia's light pattern is going to follow Thalia's light pattern.
Yeah, I forgot you drew that. All right, I'm gonna be like right back 1 second while I grab something.
Got it.
All right, I'm back. So everyone agrees, right? You guys are headed in the direction where you guys found the feeder den.
If that's where his marks are pointing, then yeah.
All right, so yeah, so you guys start heading southwards. It takes you a few minutes before you reach the bend that starts the flow that turns from southward, main thoroughfare that turns west. You guys notice immediately that the blood reddish tinged fluid that was flowing from the Bloodworks area from the south, that's seems to be largely dissipated. You can still see remnants of like stains on some of the high watermark areas, but largely it seems that you guys had stopped the flow, the source of the fluid, and the rest of the water flow has cleared this section up back to its normality. It doesn't seem like the sewer sweeper has been by here in the past, well, since you guys were last down here.
Do we know how often they come through? We don't want to get. That was all.
I think your understanding was that it came through roughly like twice a week.
How long has it been since we've been down here?
I don't actually remember. I think it's roughly just under a week.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just under or just over a week, if I recall correctly.
Well, we're on the timetable. We'll deal with it if we deal with it.
Yeah. So you guys approach where the sewer blockage area is. There is no sewer blockage this time, although you do see like a couple of pieces of like what appears to be planks from like a smashed barrel, and possibly like the back of like a chair has caught on like a couple of like stone formations near one of the where the trough feeds into the cistern. It appears this is like a location where stuff tends to catch on. There's not much of an impediment now, but if left like this for a significant period of time, and if people throw a lot of stuff into the sewers, this is likely where it's going to just block up again.
Who flushes their chair?
Is it a chair or stool?
It looks like.
But don't.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even get that. No. It looks like a chair back without the seat.
I say leave it be for now.
Milo's not going to touch it. If everybody's walking away, he will walk with them. But he is curious. He wants to see if he can look around a little bit and discern anything of note, either of value or of interest.
Roll me a perception check.
It's pretty good.
You don't find anything of particular interest. It doesn't seem like there's no place for the mount to hide. So at the very least, you ascertain that there's no particular danger in this current junction area. Actually, I would like for the rest of you to roll me a perception check as well, just for shits and giggles.
Milo has his familiar on his shoulder as well, his rat.
Yeah, he can roll a perception check as well. Wow, you guys are rolling so fucking high. Okay, yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, I think you guys are kind of like on alert. I don't know. Are you guys on alert?
I'm super alert, but I'm more worried about a crocodile.
Yeah. So I think you guys are a little bit wary since this is the last time that you guys ran into trouble. And so you like stop for a moment and survey the situation before deciding if you want to continue on. And I think all three of you, barring the rat and Pop, it takes you a moment because you're in the sewers, and the sewers does all sorts of weird, like Crash Bandicoot sewers acoustic weirdness to sound. But for a moment, you swore like you're not entirely sure if it's like your own footfalls echoing, but you heard the sounds of like footfalls somewhere. But it was difficult to tell like which direction it was coming from. If it was ahead of you or behind you, like the echoes are a bit weird.
Does our friend hear anything?
He doesn't appear to have clued on. Instead,
Yeah.
he seems to be currently occupied at the moment. He's like crouched down with like one finger tracing like the dust or something on the ground. It appears he's looking at some sort of like tracks, or or at least he's looking for tracks or signs of evidence of people passing through.
Milo's just gonna shrug and wrinkle his nose and pick up his staff slash shovel handle and just use it as a walking stick along the way, catching up with the rest of the group.
I guess I'll sort of call back to the rest of the group and let them know to keep watch, be wary.
All right, so do you guys just continue on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys walk past the blockage area.
I also want to ask. I keep wanting to call him Mortimer, but I don't think that's right.
Montgomery.
Montgomery. Okay, if he can tell how far away the child or his mark is.
He shakes his head and he says, unfortunately, the divination, the tracking powder only shows the direction, and even then, if it's obscured by like walls or doors and stuff, the readings become a bit squirrely.
Does it have a limit on its range?
He looks a little bit like sheepish, and he says, well, in my experience, I've seen it work from a couple of miles away, but I've seen it also not work from across the street. It's magic, and he just like shrugs, like, fuck if I know.
Okay.
In his head, Milo recants the praise he was giving this guy.
Yeah, but he says, the odd thing about the good thing about this powder is this concoction is the closer you get, the easier it is to pinpoint. And he kind of like gets out like a little stick, almost like a wand, and he just like kind of draws in like the muck on the ground, kind of like almost like a. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like triangulation technique, but basically, like if you have multiple points of direction pointing towards an object, the more points of reference you have, the easier it is to like triangulate where the location is. And yeah, he says, I'm actually running pretty low on this trace powder, but should be enough. I know I'm getting close. I just know it.
And at that point, since this guy has the dust, Thalia will hand over her scrolls. The fine
What
person.
scrolls are there?
The fine person. I bought them last session.
Ah, yeah. I forget exactly what the stipulations of the fine person scrolls were. Let me look it up. This is when I wish I had like a physical copy of the player's handbook. Actually, I don't know why I'm using player's handbook. I should just do it by the internet. Is it find person or is it locate creature?
It might be locate creature.
Yeah, 4th level divination. You can sense the creature's location as long as it's within 1,000 feet of you. Describe or name a creature that is familiar to you. Unfortunately, as far as you understand, and when he he's not a magic user, so he reads over so it's funny because this is like a professional scroll, right? You guys purchase it from a
And
fully
she
legit.
will stop him from reading it out loud.
Yeah. So it has the spell works, and he looks it over, and you stop him from reading it out loud, right?
Yes.
But actually, on the title of the scroll, it actually has it's almost like in computer code. I don't know if you know this or not, but they put those little slashes, double slashes in front of a line to prevent the system from reading it. Instead, it's just code notes for the programmer. It has that, and it's locate creatures found. He glances at the scroll and then just shakes his head and he says, I am not mystically inclined. I can't use this. And plus, my understanding, and he gestures to a clause on the. It's literally the spell description from the player's handbook. He says, I don't claim to have any familiarity with the boy. I just.
Yeah, you do. You have his dust.
I don't think that counts as familiarity.
Well, at this point, you have something that is familiar with him. You know his name, his face, probably his description, and you have his clothing, his scent.
He nods and he says, "Yeah, but I've never met the boy myself. In fact, I've never even met any of the Alexandrians. I mostly deal with their retainers." C+ is pretty rusty. I love to imagine that spells in D&D are literally computer code. It's like an arcane language.
One little mistake and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I was actually writing a campaign where magic was actually technology that people didn't really understand how it works.
Yeah. I actually so if you actually look into the Gary Gygax and the D&D people and the Forgotten Realms lore, that is literally what magic is. Magic is I don't know if you know this or not, but the lore of Forgotten Realms is that it's a post-apoc a high technological science fiction post-apoc world, and the world has been sundered by misuse of high technology, and then now mages and stuff are controlling what's called the weave, but the weave is a technological construct. It's super crazy. You need to look into it.
My current campaign has something that's like that. I have magic items that are made from old technology, and there's a city that's in the middle of a storm that has, it's basically Star Trek cities, kind of like a Star Trek ship, basically. So it has a computer that knows stuff, and everything there. It looks like arcane writing, but everything is wires and stuff.
Perrin, is your hookup okay? Because I'm hearing this long beep noise.
I'm hearing a high pitched whine from.
Yeah, that's Juggy.
Oh, Juggy.
From Juggy, yeah.
Sorry.
Let me restart my computer.
No worries. Yeah. So. Yeah, he shakes his head. He's unfamiliar with the mystic element, and he hands you gently back the scroll.
The spell also states the spell can locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature of a specific kind.
I don't think. Wait, none of you are elves, are they?
Owl?
Elves.
Elves? No.
Elf.
I'm a half elf.
No. Gnome.
Yeah. You know what? He's going to like thank you. Yeah. He says, thank you. I think I'll continue using, although it's rather vague. This specific clause, and he like points at the 1,000 feet, and it's like we can't be certain if he's within 1,000 feet. I'd rather not waste your.
No, as we keep getting closer.
Right. Okay. No. If I feel he's close enough.
I think we got 2 or 3 of these.
He smiles. You're very kind. I don't want to impose on your resources. And yeah, I think he gestures towards like, and he says, I'd like to get a little bit further along before I try the trace dust again.
Well, you're the leader. Sniff them out.
Actually, Arthur's not here, but Arthur was the one who insisted on you 3 going ahead first. So
Yeah,
Montgomery
well,
kind of like gestures like you first.
yeah, that's true. I would see what direction he's headed in, and
Yeah, I think
wants us to head-
Montgomery does say like, I think it was that way, and he like gestures like west down the sewer thoroughfare.
Milo looks over at Obi. There's no gator down there, and she kind of shrugs her shoulders. And I cast mage armor because you never know.
The only reason we stopped here was because we saw something, a chair or something.
Sewer blockage.
But we still think the dust was pointing us in this direction.
As far as you understand, yeah.
Well, let's keep on keeping on.
I'd like to keep an eye on Montgomery here as he's following along, just to see if he's doing anything unusual. As far as I would know, I guess. I mean, it seems like he's leading the way. He's using this dust. Has some arcane properties. I know that, but just being a little bit cautious of him because he can lead us anywhere.
Roll me an insight check as you guys move further west down the main thoroughfare. Yeah. He seems. How do I describe this? He seems professional but on edge. Like not nervous per se, but like alert, I guess would be the terminology. He frequently instead of just like focusing straight on ahead with like his hooded lantern and just like like plodding along after you guys, he seems like frequently like turning his lamp left and right behind him, casting his gaze around, occasionally stopping for like a brief moment to like look at something closer on the ground. He seems like someone on the scent or the hunt of like someone who would behave if he was on like a scavenger hunt or something.
All right. And Milo wouldn't linger too long looking at him, but after he's kind of watching him for a short period of time, he would just call back kind of softly, just so he could hear. I'm sure he's only like a few feet away. Oh, it's pretty scary down here. Do you come down here often?
He like glances over at you as he like as he's like kind of like crouched down, like surveying like a bit of like pond slime or something, and he says, "Not too often. I mean, I have been down here before. Similarly, hired some protection last time, but we ran into some thugs, some brigands, smugglers who use these tunnels to evade law enforcement. Like I said, I've only been down here a couple of times, but yeah, go ahead.
Milo would just kind of nod. It seems like a plausible explanation for him. There might be brigands, and he's also concentrating on what he's doing. There could be a gear.
Yeah.
We mentioned that already, and he would kind of.
And he does mention the fact that actually most of my tasks, I'm more at home on rooftops, let's just say, than I am down here in the sewers.
Milo smiles slightly and keeps on looking forward.
Yeah. So you guys head further west. You reach. You walk about another 300 or 400 feet. You have to like cross a couple of bridges, like that cross the main thoroughfare, like backwards and forwards. It's just the nature of the sewers themselves. And you reach like a large, like almost like feeder pipe. What seemingly, like, even from your smell alone, is fresh water. This isn't like runoff or like a main trunk line of like wastewater that's feeding into sewers. It seems like the water coming from this pipe, this like large 3-foot pipe, with like bars in front of them, is probably like aqueduct, like water siphoned off from the aqueduct to provide almost like extra water to the sewers to ensure that there's always enough water in the sewers to keep things flowing.
All right.
Yeah, and Montgomery actually does like glance at the pipe and says, we must be under the bell tower reservoir.
The bell tower. I heard that was a work of wonder.
Yes. Rumor has it that it's at least 200 or 300 years old, if not even older.
That's almost as old as me.
Actually, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, no, that's an interesting thought. Actually, the bell tower, you know for a fact. Are you a native of Helios?
No, he grew up in like a rural area.
Okay. Okay, no, then never mind.
I've got my eyes. I think we're still heading this direction. I'm
Yeah.
looking down there and just seeing if I hear or notice anything moving. That's
Roll
basically
me a
what I'm.
survival check.
It's all good, guys.
You do notice that the opening into the subsection where you guys found this feeder den, the ground has been disturbed. Although you're not, like, you can't make out like the tracks and numbers and size of whatever disturbed the ground. But you're pretty sure this is much more churned up and muddy than you guys remembered last time when you were leaving.
Meyer alerts. I'm on high alert.
Well, what's the Mirelurk sound effect?
I don't know, but that Meyer alert queen made me pee myself.
So yeah, you guys pass under the large outlet. I suppose I think actually at this point he stops near the large outlet, and he he sets up his little tracing powder ritual thing again, and he takes out like another pinch of this pink salt kind of substance, and then he like takes out like a brush, like a very like feather brush, and he like waves it over it, like moving the salt backwards and forwards until it forms a line. And yeah, the line almost points directly west.
Milo's watching very intently as he's doing these different procedures.
Yeah, and actually he does something a little bit interesting this time. I don't think you guys noticed this last time. He takes out like a map. It's very similar to Thalia's map that she drawn. It's like hand drawn. There's various notations. It's difficult to tell what the notations mean because they're just like map symbols without a legend. Like you guys can't tell, but there's lines drawn like all over this map. And he takes out like a little projector and like an angle rule, and then he kind of like measures like the degree of the line, and then like aligns it to the map, and then aligns it to the cistern, the outlet pipe of fresh water. And he like adds like an extra line on the map itself, and then he just like uses like a ruler to like draw the line out into like a large line heading west. And you see that it like intersects with like the line that he must have drawn in the office when you guys weren't paying attention. And it does seem to intersect in the section where you guys found the feeder den. And he looks up and he looks rather excitedly and he says, "We're close. I know it." And yeah, and I think he almost excitedly starts, almost runs ahead of, almost makes to run ahead of Arthur and Obadiah.
When he goes to run ahead, I'll put my back.
Thalia pulls him back.
Okay. Yeah. You guys kind of like just all interpose yourself between him. And he says, All right. I'm jumping the gun, but quickly, we're close.
I'm gonna insight check his excitement. I'll make sure he's.
By the way, Arthur, I haven't heard you say anything. Is your mic working?
I switched to my phone because my mic, like my computer mic, is kind of going out. I think it's the
Okay.
cable. I'm not too sure.
He seems legitimately excited that we're about to find this kid.
Yeah, well, it's probably not the kid that he's excited about. It's probably the payout
Well,
or whatever's
be
hiding
fine.
down here that's not the kid.
My insight check that he's totally on the level, guys.
He's new best friend.
I mean, I didn't like him that much before. He seemed kind of shifty and a little bit of a tool, but he's all right.
So Thalia says, once again, your safety at the moment is paramount.
I mean, there's no such thing as a natural 1 in skill checks. It's just a 7.
That's actually pretty damn good.
You've seen this type of behavior before, Obadiah. Typically in like rookies, like new badges, who are like jumping the gun, like
he's making his
close
first
to
arrest.
arrest. Yeah. Like he wants to be the first to the prize, basically.
Well, I'll think in my head. Well, if he's so excited, we'll let him walk into the trap first. But I think we're being paid to protect him, so I won't say it out loud.
All right. So what do you guys do? Do you guys like hit in ahead of him, or do you guys let him go first to spring whatever traps before you guys?
If he's dead, he can't pay us, so we'll go first.
All right.
Yeah.
So same thing. Like you three go first, and then Milo kind of hangs back with him.
No, it's Thalia that hangs back.
Oh yeah, Thalio's.
That hangs back. Okay. Thalia, I would like for you to roll me a perception check. All right. And I'm gonna roll something as well. Okay. So yeah, you guys hurry on ahead. Familiar passageways start to you start coming across very familiar passageways leading up to the feeder den, and it's beyond obvious now by this point that whatever he's seeking is apparently directly in the feeder den, which you guys cleared out.
I'm gonna tell Arthur, even though he's probably figured it out, we need to be prepared just in case this kid's turned. And he's a walker.
I think if he had, we probably already took care of him.
That's possible, but let's, be careful. And I'm gonna look down to my hip thing where I have the shotgun hanging off me and make sure it's loaded. And it is.
Yeah. So how are you guys armed and adorned? I know Obi's got his rifle fully assembled and kind of on the shoulder.
Milo has mage armor up, and he's got his shovel handle in his one hand and his gun in his other hand.
Thalia is wearing. If I could find the armor. Is wearing
Her waders.
Leather armor and waders, yeah. She's got a dagger in her hand with her rapier, her silver rapier on one side, her gladius on the other, and her crossbow on her back.
All right. And Arthur?
He's in his full plate. He's got his shield out. He's got his hand is hovering over either his silver or his regular hand axe. He's not sure which one he's going to be pulling out yet.
All right. And you've got the fancy magnetic cloak that's covering your armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys don't notice Montgomery being visibly armed, although Obadiah, your keen police sense can pick out he has a bulge of a sidearm or something underneath his cloak at his hip, but he doesn't have it out.
That
I think he also
he's excited to hang out with Thalia.
Yeah.
He also said that his cane was a something, right?
Yeah. He had a what appeared to be like a foil inside his cane. And he doesn't look like he needs the cane. It looks more like a fashion accessory because he's holding it like a. He's not holding it like a walking cane. He's holding it like an accessory. Anyway, yeah, you guys head in through there. You come across very familiar passageways. You enter the feeder den. It's immediately obvious that someone has come through after you guys, and kind of I won't say cleaned up, but disturbed the scene. So, various places where specifically Obadiah, your eyes travel to various places where you fired your pistol. Or was it your pistol or was it your rifle where you fired the silver round?
I forget. I think I didn't have the rifle. I think this is where I decided to get the rifle because. So it would have been my pistol. It would have been the rhino.
So yeah, so a couple of shots that you had missed with your silver rounds, into the walls. I can't remember if you dug the silver back out.
I don't think I would have. I don't think I started digging it out till I started using the rifle.
Yeah. So it's obvious that someone has come through with some sort of a chisel, a hammer and chisel, and then smashed out a section of a hole on the wall in order to extract a couple of the silver bullets, because the holes are much larger than when your bullets impacted them. And there's obvious chisel marks on there, and there's obvious signs of like someone has come through and like removed some of the debris. But as clear as to you as it is to Montgomery, Montgomery doesn't make the comment that, it seems like there was some sort of altercation here, and he like points towards like a scorch mark on the ground, and then like his foot like clinks on something, and he turns and kind of just like toes like a broken arrowhead from like a shaft from like an arrow.
I don't think I'm not a halfling, so I don't think I can stealth behind Arthur. So I'm not going to try to stealth.
Yeah, and like he like looks into like I'm not sure if you guys are like still ahead of him basically, but he starts to like take on a more like inquisitive direction. Like he's not like waiting for you guys to hurry up on ahead of him. He's like glancing in and out of like various alcoves and rooms and stuff. Do any of you go ahead to where you guys found the den of
Are there any bodies left behind?
So yeah, that's the thing that you notice immediately. There are no bodies here. Someone has come and removed the bodies. So yeah, although there, so let me clarify. Someone has come and removed the bodies, but hasn't done enough to disguise the signs that there was some sort of like brutal conflict here. There's obvious stains of like ichor and blood and debris from like explosions, and there's shell casings on the ground and broken arrows.
Does it look at all like the bodies? Like the bodies are gone, but does it look like they were dragged off?
Roll me a survival check.
That's pretty good.
It's hard to tell. Man, you guys rolls today.
Yeah, I'm not getting any pluses on some of these too. The also, is there a chance that I would imagine not, because it's not one of the main things, but a scrubber came through?
No. As far as your understanding of how the sewer sweepers work, is that they only go through like constructed sections of the sewer system.
Yeah,
And
that
if-
makes sense.
Actually, you know what? I'll bring up the map. I'll bring up the map. Right. So ignore all the tokens and stuff on there. And I'll turn off. Oh yeah, I already turned off dynamic light. So yeah, as far as you understand, they would only travel through like the constructed sections of the sewers. Like they wouldn't go into the borrowed and collapsed tunnels. So yeah, and you guys watch escort Montgomery around the various caverns and rooms, and at the room, like this room where like the other team went in through, and specifically at this location, you guys see like two basically blood pools on the ground. And Montgomery kind of has like a not a hangdog fate expression, but like a resigned expression kind of thing. And he kind of like, his shoulders are slightly slumped, and he just says, shit.
Thalia looks at him questionably.
Yeah, and he kind of like takes some of the powder out, and he kind of just like sprinkles it on like the blood stain. And like the first one, the powder doesn't seem to do anything. The second one, when he sprinkles the blood stain on sprinkles on the bloodstain, the powder like kind of like flashes and burns up in like a whiff of smoke. Yeah, and he just says,
It seems
belongs
someone
to our
beat
boy.
us.
what was that, Arthur? What was that you said?
I said, I said, did that belong to our boy?
It appears so, but where's the body?
Maybe that other team you were talking about beat us to it.
No, he shakes his head vehemently and says, no. If the others beat me to it, they'd be crowing about it at the moment, and we'd hear nothing of it we'd hear nothing but of it for weeks.
Can I look at the puddles and see if there was like either handprints of it walking off or someone dragging it off?
Yeah, roll me a survival check. In fact, he's going to do the same thing.
Arthur will suggest perhaps the croc got it.
Very possible.
I see your ulterior motives. Yeah. It looks like a number of individuals, judging from like the footprints. Some of it that you guys have disturbed on your way in. But it looks like a number of individuals came in and either put these bodies into some sort of like sack or container or something, and then just like lifted them out, and carried them out.
Can we follow the footprints or like?
They appear to, like, you follow them for a little bit, and they appear to lead back to the direction where you guys came from.
Well,
yeah, and he's just like saying, and you guys do notice that like the area, obviously this is like the feeder den, right? So like the area is strewn with like debris and like just like, you know, broken items and like broken chairs and broken furnitures, and just it looks like a rat, like a giant version of like a rat's warren. It's just like loose debris and random odds and ends like strewn all over the place, almost like as, I don't know, like as clutter. And he just says, maybe if I can find something that belongs to the boy, I can have proof that I at least found where he, and he just kind of sighs, where he died.
Are we sure he's dead?
He gestures at the pool of blood and he says, there's way too much blood there for anyone to have survived that. And yeah, you guys look, and it's like it's a big puddle. There's at least like
look around that area to see if there's anything that possibly could have belonged to him, like a shoe or like a necklace, like a ring or something.
Yeah. He yeah, roll me an investigation check. I'm gonna roll one for him as well. Yeah, you guys find odds and ends of like various clothing, shoes, like gloves, hats, all torn up and like ragged. It's very difficult to tell if any article of clothing came from him.
Thalia states it'd be the nicer stuff.
Yeah, Montgomery looks like increasingly frustrated. Yeah, he looks increasingly frustrated. At some point, I think he takes out he digs around in his pouch, and he takes out like a small, like a tiny like a tiny like jewel, like a gem, and it's on like the end of a pin. And he just like he just like crushes the jewel with I think like two pieces of small metal, almost like coins. And then basically he crushes it, and like the pin falls to the ground, like the crushed bits of the jewel falls to the ground. Nothing happens. And he just like he mutters underneath his breath something.
I can read his
I-
lips.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. The rest of you do. Do you want to roll perception? Well, I don't know if there's any point since he reads his lips.
I'll roll it anyway. Why not?
Okay. So yeah, obviously you can read his lips, Obadiah, but Thalia, you hear him mutter something like, "It's not here."
Social mutter, what's not here?
He doesn't hear you. Although Obadiah, you see, you lip read Thalia muttering, "What's not here?"
And I'll just kind of like do like hand against my neck, like cut it out, like type things. Like it's obvious what he's looking for.
Do you say that?
Not out loud.
Okay.
Like maybe I'd go over. Nope. You know what? I wouldn't even bring it up with him in range.
Are you guys carrying any kind of like belongings or anything? Like, are you guys wearing backpacks, etc., or pouches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have my backpack.
Just curious.
Arthur will ask him, what do you plan on doing now that your quarry is not here?
He kind of looks like frustrated, almost agitated, and he says, I suppose I'll have to take a sample of the soil to prove that I found, if not his body, at least where he died. So it won't be the full contract, but and he just like grunts, like almost frustrated. Out of character wise, out of game wise, Thalia, how long have you got?
Oh, I got it until midnight.
Oh, okay, so we still got a little bit of time. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I just have to be in bed by midnight.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so yeah. At this point, I would like for everyone to roll perception.
Oh, I finally got under 20.
Advantage because of the observant feat.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Write that down.
God,
Again.
everyone's perception.
Write that down.
So yeah, Obadiah, you're the only one who hears this. You hear like a clink of metal, and like a boot scuff, like from the direction that you came from. So I'll actually place you guys on the map just because for sake of for reasons. Give me one moment while I teleport you guys. And position where you guys want to be in the cavern.
All right, and we came from this way, correct?
Give me one moment.
Where's Montgomery?
Yeah. Give me one moment. But yeah, he's with you guys essentially.
I just wanted to be next to him is the thing.
You know what? For the sake of convenience, I'm just going to draw him as a circle. So
Make
he's
him
the
a pink circle.
He's the pink circle.
Was it on a different layer? There you go.
Are you using the term circle? Okay, never mind.
So yeah, Obadiah, you guys came from this direction,
Okay.
and you hear the sounds of like a some sort of like metal striking stone, very faint, just like a clink, and then like a boot scuff.
I would like go into hunter mode. I say there's something back there, and start like Muldoon in Jurassic Park right before he gets ambushed by the Velociraptor. Start stalking in this direction.
All right. You walk around the corner, and you find like a little bit surprising, like both you and the person. There's a person, and there's actually a couple of people in the tunnel. Let me pop him to the right page. Yeah. So yeah, you cross around the corner, and you see like looking rather surprised. There's 4 individuals currently clearly attempting to be quiet about their shenanigans, but they're like, one of them has like some sort of like there's like a person that's has a shield out, wearing some sort of like scale armor with like a he doesn't have his weapon drawn, but he has like a hammer or a club on his hip. There's a person behind him in like a duster, holding a what looks to you like one of those Catholic incense burner things. I don't know if you know
It's
what
called a
what they
censer.
look like.
Angling.
Yeah. But instead of it burning incense, there just appears to be like a small purple flame, like very, very tiny, burning, like almost like a candle-sized flame. Behind him is a person dressed in loose, like canvas linen clothing. He's the only one who looks to be visibly armed. He has like a hand crossbow that's like pointed straight up at the ceiling, like he's got it like up by his ear. And then behind him, there looks to be some sort of like dapper gentleman, blonde, wearing some sort of weird bispectacles that are blue, and he appears to have a lute or a violin over his back. And they look rather surprised. Like, what's your reaction?
Well, obviously, whole shouldered and pointing in the direction, and I'll say loud enough for everyone to hear. Oh, that's far enough, right there.
Yeah. I think the guy in the front stops short, and he like holds up like a hand, like, whoa. Watch where you point that thing. Who are you? What are you doing down here?
Can I help you, gentlemen? Or would you like to turn around now?
You see the front 2 people glance at each other. And he says, the front person, the guy with the shield, yells out, well, not really yells out, but calls out, he calls out, what outfit are you with?
Did I forget? Did Montgomery tell us what outfit he was with? Or
Yeah. You guys like went to him to the office of Smithson's brothers to find him.
Nadia Smithens brothers. Who
Yeah.
are you with?
The guy in the duster holding the Catholic incense burner. mutter something, but you can read his lips, right? So you see
Shit, they
him.
beat us.
No, you see him mutter Smithson's bastards, like a derogative. Yeah, and the guy with the crossbow behind him kind of like snickered. And the guy with the shield yells out, calls out, Smithson's, huh?
And I'll just ignore him and say, Arthur, can you come over here for a moment?
I'll sort of motion for Montgomery to follow, and then kind of walk that direction.
So they're not. Well, from their perspective, they see this crazy person with this black face and a large rifle pointing at them. So I'm gonna get the big shiny armor guy to come stand next to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So the guy calls out. Yeah. He calls out. Actually, no. Wait. 1 moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So he says, "We're with Iron Hill." I'm not sure if you know who Iron Hill is. Any of you who wants to, why don't you roll me in history check?
Trust me, that's the first thing that popped in my head. Actually, I should have said that when there's who you with. What do you mean, who am I with? I'm hunting a crocodile.
All right, Milo, Obadiah, you don't like you've definitely heard of the company Iron Hill before. It's similarly to Smithson's brothers, but they have like they're typically more found like guarding caravans and stuff, and they have like a not really disreputable reputation, but more of a mercenary one. So they don't have like they'll do what you pay them to do essentially, as long as it's not like blatantly illegal. But yeah, Milo, you've got the faint inkling that the Iron Hill. So the proper name of the company is called Iron Hill Incorporated. You've got the faint inkling that there's something related between the Iron Hill Incorporated and Clan Iron Fist.
He's a huge conglomerate, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the Dwarven conglomerate. Like you get the sense that like either it's like a subsidiary or it's like there's some sort of like it's owned by Iron Fist, something like that. Yeah. So Shield, the guy with the shield, glances over at the incense holder person and says, "So, Smithson's, huh? Is old Monty with you?"
Did he
I
follow
wouldn't.
me?
I wouldn't respond. They're aiming my gun.
Yeah, and Monty actually steps up behind you and just yells out, "What do you want, Jamerson?" And he just says, Monty. Are these your lapdogs? And he ignores the barb and calls back. We got here first, Jamerson. Woof slightly. What's that supposed to be?
He called us lapdogs.
Oh, wow. I'm slow today. I just got that. Okay.
I'm mentally taking a bead on the guy with the hammer and the little friggin' incense thing. If this gets ugly, I'm gonna shoot him first.
So yeah, Jamerson calls out, "Why don't you get your friend here to stop pointing that thing at us?" Yeah, and like all of them look like a bit like on edge. Like you're literally fucking pointing a gun at them.
I won't put it down, but I'll listen to whatever Hermione suggests.
Yeah, and Monty just says, and like he leans into your shoulder and he says, I don't really trust them, but I prefer not for things not to escalate. Could you just like point that thing somewhere else, but just be prepared.
I'll grunt and take it off my shoulder, but I'm still holding it in a ready position.
Right, so you're kind of like aiming slightly down at the ground, but ready to like snap it up, essentially.
Yep.
Right, yeah, and they kind of like visibly, like they were like super tense before because you're literally holding them at gunpoint, but they kind of like kind of like ease up a little bit.
I don't move though.
Yeah, and he just says, yeah, Monty yells out, "What do you want, Jamerson?" And Jamerson yells out, "Well, that depends. What did you find?" Monty shakes his head and says, "We didn't find anything. There's nothing here. Why don't you turn around and go home?" The Jamerson turns his head to look at the incense holder person, who like glances down at the thing that he's holding, and you notice that like the purple flame seems to be like burning in a particular direction. So you know when there's like a candle's guttering because a flame is a wind is blowing on it, it like gutters towards a specific direction. Like it's guttering in your guys' direction. And the guy with the incense holder shakes his head. And Jamerson looks up and says, stop telling fibs, Monty. We both know the boy is here. Why don't you bring him out and hand him over?
I'm going to very visibly, even though I don't have to, load my rifle.
you like you cock you cycle your rifle and a single bullet unfired falls to the ground and lands on the dirt.
It's not silvered, it's fine.
Arthur will say, he was not lying about the boy not being here. He is not here.
Roll me a persuasion check. I'm gonna roll something. Insight, where art thou? Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Yeah, he glances back. He like takes a stock of what you say for a moment. And then for a moment you can tell that he looks a little bit unsure. And then he turns to look at the dude with the incense burner. And for the first time, the guy just simply states in like a low, gravelly voice, like, "It's here."
Do we hear him say that?
Yeah. You guys hear him say that.
What is the it you're referring to?
Then Jamerson says, "The boy, obviously."
I incite
Most
that?
people do not refer to humans as it.
Yeah, insight check that. And he just actually, you know what? I think he does believe you. Yeah, he does believe you. So, Jamerson calls out, and Monty, and you guys specifically. You wouldn't mind if we saw that for ourselves, would you?
I'll just turn to Monty.
So,
Monty looks a little bit troubled. And he kind of like whispers down to you guys like, I wouldn't put it above them to leave this place and claim that they got here first. I don't want this to escalate to violence. This isn't something to fight over. And he just like glances at you guys like as if like he's unsure how to handle the situation.
well, he didn't pay us to fight people unless we had to, and there's no body here.
Did you cast that, Pop?
Yep.
Ah, nice. So Pop just like appears between both your legs and just like finishes his incantation and just like flings his hand forwards and casts hypnotic pattern.
So you see, like in their 30-foot square, I cast it so it's just in them, like right on them and behind them, and then they see like flashes of skulls in their eyes, and then they would be affected by it,
Yeah. I need to roll some saves, so give me a minute.
or possibly affected by it.
This is either going to be amazing or we're going to get into a fight. Either way, I'm happy.
What is your spell save DC?
Should be 15, I believe.
Well, if this goes crazy, I'm shooting the guy in the shield.
My I think it goes 8 plus intelligence modifier, which would be 12. Yeah, and then proficiency bonus.
Yes, that's right.
And that would be a +3. So
Inside a 30-foot cube. I don't think 30-foot cube could reach all of them, right?
it should be able to, I think. Well, how many? Oh, there's a dude down there too.
Yeah, so it's your choice. Do you want to get the one in the back or do you want to get the shield guy?
I like to get the one in the back, and that shield guy
Okay.
in front. He's the closest to us, so.
Yeah.
He's the one I want to shoot in the head, anyways.
I think your cube's a foot short.
No, it's not.
From
It's
edge
6
to
squares.
edge, it's 30.
Because it doesn't count the square that you start on.
Oh, that's alright.
What if he made it in like a diamond pattern?
Alright, so funnily enough, so the front two guys fail, but the one in the back, whether he's out of sight or he was more on the ball, it doesn't seem to affect him. So the creature becomes charmed.
Yep. And Milo would say, "We're all friends here. Let's calm down."
Actually, this kind of escalates things. Like the guy with the shield, like lifts his shield into he cries out in like an alarm, and he like lifts his shield and kind of like rips the bat from his belt and kind of just starts like backing up, like pushing one of like the stunned individuals, like shoving him backwards towards the way that they came from, and it kind of like causes like a little bit of bottleneck as they kind of all get squeezed up in this location. And I'd like for everyone to roll initiative.
Sorry, guys.
It's fine. You stunned two out of four of them, like from the beginning. How do I roll initiative for these guys without actually like? Never mind. I'll just manually roll it. Yeah. Actually, I should roll for Monty as well. I should have actually given him a token so I can actually. You know what? Let's just do this.
I knew my initiative would be low. Let's get the sense.
I can't help it. I always end up in front. I should always let Arthur be up front, but I can't help myself.
I think Arthur said he had stepped up beside you, right?
He was, definitely.
Yeah,
So-
I was nearby.
This chap is currently charmed, incapacitated, but he gets to make his wisdom saving throw at the end of his turn, right?
Double check that. I believe so.
Oh no, takes damage or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Yeah.
I think the shield guy did like take an action to like that was his action to shove.
He got at least one, and then the other one bumped into the other one. So it's
but that, I don't think that counts. Like the bumping into doesn't count, but like the shoving of the incense holder does. So I'm just gonna make another save. 1d20 plus. So it's 15, right? So no way that fails. So yeah, he still looks like completely dazed, like a flashbang went off in his face, basically. So these two guys skip their turn. And that's just the funny name I put on. Ignore the name. Because I saw the token and I just laughed.
He's rocking out, yeah.
Alright, so what he's going to do instead, he just simply, he starts like, he takes the loot off his back, and he just like takes his hand and just like kind of like slashes the strings, and this very very like discordant note fills like it's the worst like guitar strum that you've ever heard. It just fills this entire cavern, and you find your concentration on your spell momentarily disrupted, and the spell fades because he cast the spell magic.
Boo.
And he's gonna run back around the corner a little bit more.
Got you.
Yeah, Obadiah, your turn.
I'm going to yell out, whatever's going on here, is it worth your lives?
Roll me an intimidate. Monty does call to you guys. Monty does call to you guys. No, no killing, no killing. It's too much paperwork.
For them or you?
Everyone.
I'm not used. I have 2 attacks now. Is that first attack or is that just my action?
No. The intimidate is not an action. I'll just let you have it for free.
I am going to. God damn it. You know what I want to do? I want to fire a warning shot at shieldy guys, like dead center of a shield.
Okay.
I should use grit, but whatever. I'm not trying to hit him anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, you fire your warning shot. I think, like, I don't know why it misses completely, but, like, it narrowly misses him, like, goes over his shoulder and, like, smashes into, like, the ceiling or something.
That's fine.
And, like, chunks of rocks, like, and pebbles shower down, and he kind of, like he flinches and ducks a little bit.
And, I'm not going to fire another shot. He knows I'm serious. I'm going to step back so Arthur can get in front of me. Or actually, Arthur, can you get in front of me now where I'm standing?
Yeah, he can.
And then, yeah, that'll be my turn. I'm going to take the one warning shot, and I'm going to reload because I already wasted one round.
Alright, Arthur, it's your turn.
I keep pressing the wrong button. I keep pressing my keyboard instead of my phone. I'm going to say, look, no one has been hurt yet, and we have no reason to hurt each other, yes?
Roll me a persuasion.
We are the best for talking.
I think it occurs to you that he's not even hearing you at all. Like, currently he's like flailing around and like shoving the guy that's behind him that's like blocking up the passage, and he's kind of like yelping as like chunks of stone are like hitting him from the shot that like exploded into like the chamber, like echoing around, like deafening everyone. He doesn't appear to be responding to your overtures.
Well, then I'm gonna prep to cast. I guess I'll cast. Gosh, do I want to do Spirit Guardians? Yeah, I think I'll prep to cast Spirit Guardians if one of them makes a hostile action toward us, like injures somebody.
All right. On Spirit Guardians on yourself, correct?
Let me check and see what.
Yeah, I think Spirit Guardians is like an aura around yourself. All right. In that case, it's Thalia's turn.
Question. How long would it take to get from one tunnel to the next? The orange points.
So I would just count it as difficult terrain.
No, like if I want to travel between the tunnels.
Yeah. So the space of the tunnel is difficult terrain.
And the length of the orange line is the amount of space traveled.
I'll actually, because I actually have notes on here because I'm. The tunnels, by the way, are not straight. They're like kind of like sawtooth and like twisty.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could make it there in a couple turns or not.
I'll be right back after you pee real quick.
Since they're gonna come back the way we came, Thalia is going to be smart. She's going to double move to that tunnel.
You know what? I'm gonna do something. Okay. Okay.
Oh, don't tell me that there's more of those stupid.
No, there isn't.
Because that'd
No,
be
it's
her
fine.
luck, you know. She goes down there and gets pulled by the feet yet again.
A pair of hands come out from the hole and grab you by the feet. No, just kidding. Yeah. So is that the end of your turn?
That was her. That was her a double move. So she basically ran over there.
Okay. So shit. All right. So face of this overwhelming aggression, completely fucking uncalled for. The shield bearer kind of turns and just like starts shoving his companions backwards. And then he just like angrily calls over his shoulder, "This isn't over, Montgomery." And like the other crew just kind of like hurriedly retreats back across the bridge. And then they start like kind of like edging back, like fleeing back down the tunnel. But as they do so, the guy with the incense holder turns back around and calls out like a word of like almost like spite. And you guys hear like a thunderous like shattering noise as the bridge that they just ran across like breaks up, collapses, and then like part of the tunnel, the tunnel ceiling like caves in as well, blocking off, like partially blocking off the area there. And it depends if you guys decide you want to pursue them, but it's clear that they're running away basically because you motherfuckers are crazy.
No intention to pursue. I think getting rid of them was the point.
All right. How weird is it to have a combat encounter resolve when no one is injured and and no one died?
Somewhat peaceful resolution.
A bit forceful but peaceful. Then she turns to the guy and says, "You're doing the paperwork on this one."
Montgomery looks a little bit shaken. Like he's got his sword, his foil cane up. He hasn't got his foil cane drawn. Like he's half in the process of drawing it, but like you guys can hear like the like his hand like kind of rattling a little bit.
Did they drop a rock on us, like the exit, and left?
Yeah, they retreated. The lead person yelling vague threats. Actually, shit. For a moment, his name slipped my mind. What was I calling him?
I forget.
Jameson?
Yeah, Jamison.
Jamerson.
That's correct.
Sorry about that. I'll use the bathroom, then I'd help my grandfather.
Right. Yeah. And so yeah, they retreated, and as they did so, the incense holder cast like some sort of spell. I think a couple of you might recognize it as Shatter, and collapse part of the tunnel behind you. It's not a serious collapse, but it would take you like a little bit to like clear out. It's not collapse in the sense that like it's impassable, but it would require a little bit of work to shift aside some of the rocks and climb back through, giving them enough time to like run away basically.
Oh, you said you didn't want anyone dead.
Yeah, and he like Montgomery like nervously chuckles and he says, that was a little bit more excitement than I bargained for.
Well, you didn't want them. They didn't get back yet, and no one died.
Yes. You know what? Screw them. And he like digs into his his backpack for like a semi-large sack, and he just says, "Please, help me gather as much of this stained dirt as you can. I don't want to leave anything for them." Knowing them,
sure.
knowing Jamison, he'll probably take a sample and claim that he got here first.
Pop up, you have a shovel, don't you?
I actually don't. I just have the handle.
Well, we left all those shovels back there.
Fine. And he just starts like reaches down, starts like scraping like with his gloves, like scraping like the surface dirt, like wherever there's blood stain, like into the sack.
Marlo would he does have like his tinkerer's kit and stuff. There might be little things in there he can help get some samples for him.
Yeah. So I think his objective isn't to take a sample, but to like take all of the samples so that no one else can.
How much room do we need for all this?
Gonna
fill up a couple sandbags worth of stuff.
It'd probably fit in one sandbag.
Okay.
That's what he's essentially making. Yeah, a sandbag.
Milo will help with him where he can with
Right. Yeah.
tools.
So it takes you guys like 3 or 4 minutes to do so. What are the rest of you doing while they're doing that?
I am going. I'll help them like as well, just with my bare hands. And when they're done, I'll be like, "Give me a second, and I'll take care of this. I'll make sure there's nothing valuable here."
All right. What are you just like digging through the debris, looking to see if you missed anything?
No, once they leave them, I want to piss all over everything.
What?
I mean,
you're going to urinate on where the blood stain was?
yes.
Brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. No, we don't need to RP that.
Call me a lapdog.
Milo will follow suit, and he's gonna unleash a torrent of urine.
So Thalia's facing the wall and goes, "I could have swore I house trained them all."
Well,
Monty looks a little. I think Monty is doing the same thing. He's kind of like,
you know what?
facing the wall as well. And
trust me, reports about this where other liquids get into the blood samples and they can't do anything with it. So
roll
in
me.
case...
I don't know if this is a deception or if this is a persuasion check. I don't even know.
This is the truth. I'm not even. I'm just telling him this is a fact. You know, you spray ammonia on a blood sample, it's no good.
Yeah. Roll me a persuasion check.
I'm so good at these. One of these days, I will roll a good one. But today is not that day.
Can we rename them Callista?
Rename who?
Rename Rum Callista. Just pee on everything.
The funny thing is, when we first got here, I'm like, if Mud was here, he would just lick it.
Give me 1 second. What's your passive perception again, Ron?
Oh, it's something ridiculous. Hold on, because I have the observant feat. forget what it is. Hold on. I want to say it's like 18 to 20.
All right.
I have a +5 bonus on my passive perception, so I forget what my actual passive is. This isn't like
It's probably like 18 or something. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, you notice out of the corner of your eye,
He just face palming.
Milo doing something a little bit weird while he's urinating.
He's holding
And-
two
and-
staffs.
and you notice, strangely enough, that when your trail of urine hits the ground, it rebounds off the ground and flies like straight up into the air.
I'll never. You are the most friggin' gnome ever. I know he's. Whenever something goes crazy, I just assume it's Milo now, and I'm assuming that's what's going on.
But then after a while, the trail just vanishes.
I just look up at my urine disappearing into the sky and just say that him being the oddest gnome.
Milo just smiles.
And then I will button my fly and say, "All right."
Montgomery speaks up to the wall that him and Thalia are facing. Are you two finished of your business? I'm not even. And he turns towards Thalia and just says, "I'm not even sure what's going on here."
I am, but I don't know what this gnome is doing.
He apologizes. It's taken him a while to.
He's
Finish.
old.
It's trickling out for another 10 minutes.
I guess then after that, I guess I'll just go and while he's still waiting for his prostate to stop flaring up, to start moving some rocks out.
Yeah. So yeah. You guys, it actually takes you guys, because you guys don't have any shovels or anything, right? Or any pickaxes or anything.
Milo has the shovel.
It's a shovel handle. I have a
Yeah.
crowbar.
I had that in my backstory, that silver shovel.
Oh, right.
But he's using the handle as his spell focus. And so it's not even connected or anything.
Right. Okay. So yeah, it takes you like 10 minutes or 20 minutes to like finally clear enough space for the biggest of you. Like Milo, it's easy for you to like squeeze through, like even without much work.
Let's
Like,
just say we
could've
gotta
fit
make
through.
it wider for Obi.
It actually occurs to you. Actually, no, I'll let you guys decide this. Before you even notice you'd like go to start shifting the rocks out of the way, you notice that there's like a side alcove, where the water is running off down into the main thoroughfare. Like if you guys didn't mind getting wet, you guys could just hop down and just wade through it, and just like bypass the rockfall.
Milo would rather not get all wet.
Yeah.
Last
Okay.
time-
He would
I
go
don't trust
around.
this water. I don't trust water at all now. Ever since the last time I pulled something out of it, bad things happened.
Okay, yeah, okay, so it takes you like guys roughly just over 10 minutes to like clear enough space for all of you to fit through. You guys emerge from the other side. There's enough of the bridge remaining that you guys could actually, roll me acrobatics checks to try and like jump across from the various parts that are remaining. That's fine. DC's 10. It's not that difficult. Wow, the rolls today. Christ. I swear I don't have any kind of API turned on to force you guys to roll single
Liar.
digits. So I think all of you jump across except Arthur.
His
Who I
armor
think,
got hot.
I think Arthur, when you go to leap across, you land on. So there's like a couple of like central pillars that kind of like is holding part of the stonework up, and as you land on it, whether it's from the weight of your armor or just like Obadiah jumping across first, like shifted the stonework, but the stonework kind of like cracks and then tips underneath you, and you end up falling into the drink, and you just like emerge from like the sewer. I don't know how deep you land in it, but it's like at the deepest section, it's like waist deep essentially. But it's like it's disgusting sewer water. Like it's not like it's not like it's not like fecal water, but it's definitely got like that taint to it of just sewage runoff.
I'll reach down and like do the Beastmaster handshake thing to grab his forearm and try to.
All right. If you're trying to talk, Arthur, we're not hearing anything you're saying, by the way.
Oh no, I was pushing the wrong control. I was pushing control instead of my phone. Yeah, he'll just kind of he'll take the cloak off after he gets pulled up by Obadiah and like wring it out and kind of hang it over him.
Oh, no. You misunderstand completely. The cloak is completely dry. Like it is the only thing on you that is completely dry. And when you notice, you shake off your cloak and you just see like beads of water fly off it.
Then I will not take off the cloak and I'll say, I didn't expect that.
Neither did I, and I'm gonna put my, because I bought the same type of stuff. I'm gonna put my like the arm of my cloak into the water, just my hand, and see what happens with the sleeve.
Yeah, no. You glance down and it's actually a little bit odd to see. It almost seems to be like a layer of like bubbles, like air bubbles around, like minuscule, almost like fizzy bubbles, all around the sleeve. And as you like pull the sleeve back out from the water, there's like water droplets on it. But with a couple of shakes, they all just like fly off, and it's like completely dry.
Wow, that was definitely worth the gold.
Yeah, actually, I'll roll for Monty as well. Monty's semi-competent, right? Yeah, no. He hops across, using his cane as kind of like counterbalance, and he kind of like he does it better than the rest of you. Yeah, and he lands on the other side and just like walks over to Arthur and says, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he offers you like a handkerchief.
Would that help? I don't think that would help.
No, it would not help. Like inside your armor, like the padding and stuff is just like it's just like soaked.
He'll just wave it off, and I guess he'll start removing bits of his armor. Not all of his armor, just like enough so he can air out a little bit.
Right, yeah. So basically, you just like kind of like unfasten some of the like the buckles and stuff, and just like let your armor like a little bit loose.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Monty just says, "Well, I suppose I found what I was looking for, sort of. Let's get back to the office, and I can get you guys paid."
And from the rest of the sewer, like till we're out of the sewer, I'm going to be just looking for all sorts of traps that they could have left for us.
Yeah, okay, sure. Roll me an investigation check.
I am so good at those. Actually, I am good at this.
Yeah, you actually do find a trap. It is fairly childish. It is like someone scattered a bunch of ball bearings across the top of like a bridge surface near one of the larger canal crossings.
Hey, can I grab some of those ball bearings? I need to replace some of mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some
yeah, it would take you, unless you had like a sweep and like a sweep catch. It'd take you a little bit of work.
No, she's just gonna brush it off with her hand and just grab them like marbles.
Yeah, there's like 1,000 ball bearings basically. Like,
yeah, she doesn't want them all. She just wants maybe like 500 of them.
All right, sure.
I want a few as well.
Two.
But...
you get a few odd looks from Montgomery as you as you spend 5 minutes picking up ball bearings. And eventually, I think he, after like a moment, like after he realizes you were serious about like picking up ball bearings, he glances at like the rest of you, like is this a thing that she does?
I'm down there. I'm picking up 100 myself, so I don't hear it.
You don't know how useful these things are.
You know, I could just, if you wanted, I could just buy you a bag of ball bearings.
All right, you heard him. We both
No,
get
no,
one.
no, no. This is gonna be playing a joke on them. I'm gonna sneak into their place, put it in front of their door, then sneak back out.
Oh, well, I'm going to take that bag of ball. Drop whatever I had.
With a note saying, found these, they're yours.
Yeah, and yeah, it definitely wasn't here. Like you're backtracking like where you came from. It definitely wasn't here when you last passed through. So yeah, do you guys backtrack all the way towards the public works access?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, with your investigation roll, you find nothing amiss all the way back. That is until you guys try and climb the ladder to get out of the sewers. And you find that the sewer hatch is closed. And when you try and reach up and like lift it, you guys hear like the rattle clank of what appears to be some sort of someone has like barred it from the other side, like stuck something through the access loops.
Dahlia's,
okay.
this is perfect. Watch this.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so there is a thunderous knock, like a really, really loud bang. And I think yeah, I think that the hatch flies open, smashes against the wall, and there's like rock dust and stuff like coming down, and I think like one of the bolts of the ladder like just like simply pops loose and like ricochets down the shaft. And you guys, the hatch is clearly open, and as whoever's leading first climbs up through, you guys see like one of the handles of the hatch is like simply broken off, and there's like a twisted crowbar that's like lying in the corner by the room, and like scratch marks on the wall where it like rebounded off.
Well, that was almost comical.
Dahlia
over
picks
there.
up the twisted crowbar too.
Yeah,
What
the
was the name of
crowbar's useless now. It's like it's bent like a pretzel.
No, she's gonna give it back to them.
And they were called the Iron Hill Incorporated.
Iron Hill Incorporated, yeah, and they're not typically PI. They're like mercenaries, basically.
Adding it to the old notes.
So she asks their person, so what was that guy's name again? We need to get a box at least and mail this back to him.
The fellow's name is Jemison. He's one of them Iron Hill mercenaries, and he like kind of like he goes to like he makes the motion of spitting, but he doesn't actually spit like on the ground, as if he's got a foul taste in his mouth. And he says, "Those ruffians there. Let's just say they have a disreputable reputation. They'll do anything for a contract." As you can probably tell, it's not my first run-in with that fellow.
And once we're like out of the sewers and we're back up top, we'll take the mask. I'll put all my stuff away, rifle away, mask, and the jacket.
Yeah, you can't walk around the streets armed. It's like
yeah,
it's
you
not
really
legal.
can't. So
Yeah, and do you guys head back to the office with him?
yeah, we got to get paid.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
How far is the office from where we are?
It's a couple of miles.
Arthur is going to start taking off his armor as they're walking and like putting parts of it in his bag
Right.
and letting the cloth bits air out.
Do you do so before you leave the public works office, or are you doing so while you're walking?
just as we're walking, so he'll like get behind a little bit and then have to catch up, and then get behind a little bit and have to.
I think would any I don't know, would any of you offer to help him? I mean, it'd go
Yeah,
faster if people
I
assist
would.
him.
Arthur, do you want us to get a cart so you can do this while we're on the move and we can help you?
Monty clicks his fingers and says, that's not a bad idea.
Would mending ring that out?
No, mending would fix that crowbar that twisted like a pretzel.
Okay, Milo would fix that, and then
Okay.
if magically I couldn't help him out, I would help him with his armor then.
What you're looking for is prestidigitation.
Yeah. I would help with the lower parts because I'm not very tall. I don't know if I can get his shoulders and whatnot.
Thalia, are you mailing that via box or a satchel of some sort?
Probably.
If you want, if you wait till you're back to Beacon Hill, Marmaduke might have something he could add to that.
Oh god, you guys are terrible. And then Milo can rig up some sort of incendiary device that like catches a light when
No.
opens the.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
I'm just saying, he's a large dog. He eats well. I'm just throwing that out there.
Flaming dog poop? Is that what you guys are doing?
The size of loaves of bread.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a grown boy.
You know, it'd be even more amazing if Milo rigged it an explosive, so it just kind of just poofed and just barely sent everything everywhere.
It's like a glitter bomb, but it's a dog shit bomb.
Flaming.
But the issue with that is the ball bearings then make it deadly. Then we become terrorists.
No, not enough just with enough force, just enough to kind of pop.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go mailing explosive devices through the mail like that. That invites trouble from
And that's why I
investigative
put
crime.
from you know who.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff is like frowned upon by like the investigator.
Everybody.
Yeah, like essentially like the equivalent of the FBI.
Oh, it would be even more hilarious if you put a little clock to it and it says click, click, and then once it gets to the 0, it just puts a flag up that says boom.
Well, that's up to you guys. I'm just saying, if you want some of my dog's poop, feel free.
Yeah. So regardless of which, actually, once you mentioned it, Monty like whistles up a cab, like a horse-drawn carriage. Actually, no, you guys are in Market Street.
Is it that same kid that we from before?
You know what Monty does? Monty actually calls for like a specific cab. It takes like a couple of minutes for it to arrive, but it's you've seen these around, but you've never ridden in one of them. It's a horseless carriage. It has a driver, but it doesn't have like a carriage. It doesn't have a horse. It's not horse drawn. You're not quite sure how it's powered, but from what you're understanding, that it's got some sort of like a small steam engine inside it.
Technology these days.
Milo would want to sit with, if there would be room, with the driver.
Yeah, I mean,
find out how it works and like the controls for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he speaks to you. He welcomes the company. It's a little bit more like windy. Definitely not as comfortable as being on the inside, but he does walk you through like its operation, but it becomes evidently clear to you, even though like you're not particularly like a Steamworks engineer, like it's not your field of expertise, but it becomes clear to you that like he's just regurgitating like things that the engineers have said. Like he's not like an engineer, he's just the operator.
He's a dad teaching his kid how to drive as opposed to
No, it's basically like a person who loves driving cars but isn't actually a mechanic. And when you ask him about how like the engine works, he starts telling you about like the spark plugs and like the pistons. Yeah. So you gain no like actual useful Steamworks knowledge from it, except just like curiosity.
That's fine. He's just picking up things along the way. Maybe you can tear one apart later on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're definitely not trivial as well. It does cost a pretty penny to like buy a proper Steamworks engine. Yeah, on this contraption, you guys quickly get back to Smith and Sons. You get a couple of odd looks from some of the workers inside. Specifically Arthur. I mean, your clothes look a little bit like sodden, and there's like an odor about you. And
Yeah,
Monty.
If they were in there, he probably would have changed most of his clothes.
Okay.
Into his other set of clothes that he carries.
Right,
Well,
right,
actually,
okay.
they're probably wet too, so never mind.
No, I think unless you were like fully submerged, the stuff in your pack would stay relatively dry. These are like proper traveler's packs, not like school bags these days. Like these are like weatherproof, waterproofed, oiled canvas
Gotcha.
sacks. So unless you were
Yeah,
like
would've checked.
completely submerged, they wouldn't like get wet. Yeah, okay, so you don't get weird looks from being like sewer sodden. Milo goes in. Sorry, not Milo. Montgomery goes into the back and speaks with like a raven-haired Alvin woman, Alvin lady, and they exchange a few words. Again, Obadiah, you can catch one side of the conversation just because the Monty's back is to the rest of you.
Mhm.
And there's a bit of distance involved, right? So, and it's through like an office blinds or whatever. So you only catch like snippets of conversations, like words here and there. But the lady essentially asks him. You can kind of like make an educated guess as what the lady is saying just from the words that you're catching. She asks him something about like is the job done or is the task complete or something like that. And then like he says something and then she replies like that's unfortunate. What about, and then you miss whatever word she says next because it is covered by someone walking in front of in between you two, momentarily blocking your line of sight.
Bastard.
And then she says, Monty says something in reply to that, and then she says, Lord Xander won't be happy with that. And then Monty says something else, and then she says, well, I suppose you should follow up on it. Keep me apprised. And then you see Monty visibly like nod his head, and leaves like the satchel, the sandbag satchel on like a bench to the side of the room. There's various other things on that bench. There's like a sack that's like that's wet at the bottom, with some sort of red liquid that's seeping through the bag. And there's various other like items of clothing. Regardless of which, he comes back out and he's kind of like has like a troubled look. Monty has a troubled look on his expression.
So there was a bag already there that was leaking blood?
You assume it would be blood, and it's roughly the size of for a head.
Okay.
And there's other articles of clothing and items. There's like a pottery jug. It seems like the location to like drop off things that I don't know. I leave it up to your deduction.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, and he comes back across and he says, well, come with me this way. I'll get you paid. Do you still have the contract with you?
And I'd look at Thalia, because I'm assuming she has it.
Yeah, I have it.
Very well. Very, very good. Come with me this way, and he heads over to like down like a flight of stairs, past like a big open, like a vault door, like a Disney like vault door, and inside is like a lady seated behind like a partition bars, and she just like, and it says on the plaque in front of it, accounting, and she's wearing a name tag that says Shelley.
Ah, so you
and-
surely must be from accounting.
Shirley from accounting. Yeah. 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 So Shirley says, Monty. And says, hey, Shirley, we've got a contract payout. And he like digs through his missive as well for his copy. And then he gestures for you to hand over your copy as well.
She sets hers nicely on the table.
Yeah. And just says, so task complete. Please give them the complete payout as well as the bonus. And Shirley just gives him like a flirtatious smile. Like you pick up the hint, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
at
Thalia
least-
totally plays on it too. She goes up to him and kind of just nudges him just a little bit and smirks.
Yeah. She walks away with a little bit of a hip sway. Comes back momentarily, holding like a small box, like a wooden cigar box almost. And she just like flips there's like two latches. She like just flips the latches, pops them open, and there's 6 rows of like almost like circular indentations. And in the indentations is just a stack of 10 coins, 10 platinum coins. So there's 6 stacks of 10 platinum coins, and she says that should be 600. And she like slides it across for you to check.
I studiously do check and make sure everything's there.
Yeah, it's obvious. Like each stack is 10 coins. They're all platinum coins. The contract is for 600 gold, so 60 platinum coins would equal 600 gold. And he just says, she just says, is this acceptable? Or would you like in smaller currency?
No, this is fine.
Very well. And she like turns she gets like a stamp and just like stamps both sheets, and like on the stamp itself there's like a contract complete blah 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 certification, and then below that there's like two straight lines. Monty takes like one of the sheets, signs on one of the lines, takes the other sheet, signs on the other line, signs on the same line, and he just hands the sheets back to you for you to sign, to initial for like both sheets on the second line.
She quickly signs them.
Just Thalia.
Just Dahlia? Okay.
No,
Yeah,
is that all?
There's probably only space for like maybe 2 people to sign if they were like small script.
Yeah, Milo's looking over her shoulder, really trying to get an idea of what it looks like and trying to commit the general format of it to memory.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, and once you've both signed, Monty offers you his hand, and just says, "It was a pleasure doing business with you."
Oh, sorry, we couldn't. But better than nothing.
Yeah, and he says, "It's not the full price, but." He clears
Is
his
there
throat.
something that we can help you with, like keep on the lookout on our journeys further?
We might find ourselves back down there hunting that crocodile. Is there anything we could help that you would need that would help close this for you?
Oh. Someone roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Thalia.
It's either Obadiah or Thalia, since you guys were the
Thalia.
ones who asked.
What?
All right, 20. Okay, I'm gonna roll something. All right.
Wow.
You see him visibly pause for several seconds, as if he's like seriously considering something. And a couple of times his eyes drift like upwards towards the stairs from where you guys came from.
If you want, we can meet over drinks later.
And yeah, and as you say that, he kind of like, he seems to make up his mind, and he just says, you know what, come with me a moment. And he kind of like gestures off for you towards the side. And it's basically like, it's near where like this, like the stairwell is, where the stairs like, so the stairs go up to a landing, they turn, and then they go up like completely the way, you know, it's kind of like a twofold staircase. And in the, like the stairwell, he kind of glances around to make sure like no one's close enough of an earshot. And he says, actually, since you guys did me a good turn, I'll rope you and I'll trust you with this information. That's not, locating the child wasn't the only part of the stipulation of the primary contract. There is actually a much larger reward for some sort of clockwork box that belongs to the House of Alexandria, which they are seeking. His eyes narrow a little bit, and he says, let's just say the reward is significant and leave it at that. If you guys were to come across anything such as this, please let me know. I'll make sure it's worth your while.
For a box?
Yes, it's a family relic of some kind, as far as I understand.
Well, if we see anything down there, you'll be the first to be let know.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Again, thanks for your help on this. Word of warning. Jamison has been known to hold a grudge, so just
So no poop in the box, okay.
just be wary. I wouldn't be surprised if he were to try and get back at you or something over this upset.
I think the kiss mark on the note will throw him off.
Is there any I don't want to say bounty, but if we were to deal with a professional rival of yours, say if he was retaliating and we took care of him, would there be any anything that your company could do for us to? I'm basically asking if there's a bounty.
Industrial sabotage.
It's, you know.
He looks a little bit uncomfortable when you mention this. Although he's not like outright like, no, that's terrible. But he's like,
listen.
Yeah, no, yeah. In fact, he actually says, I'm not sure if we should be talking about this. I mean, I don't want him hurt or anything.
Wink, wink. Okay.
No, there's no wink going on. He literally says, I don't want him hurt or anything. I mean, it would be nice if he would stop interfering with our business, but there's nothing legal we can do about it. And we're not in the business of illegality. It's in fact, it's not good for business.
Very well then.
If you were to catch him doing something he does, like he speaks up all of a sudden, like, as if like catching a train of thought, and he just says, if you were to catch him doing something illegal and report it to the authorities, I don't know, maybe there might be something, citizens reward or something.
Noted. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Just out of
And-
curiosity, this box, how much a reward would it? Because I'm planning on going down there for this croc hunt, but if this box is worth a very hefty amount, I'll spend the time looking for it. Just ballpark it. Or cricket. I don't know. I don't know if they have baseball there.
He stops for. He considers you for 3 or 4 seconds, and he just replies the thing that he said before in the same tone. Significant.
Okay, well, I will focus on the crocodile. Thank you very much.
You get the feeling that the significant has a capital S.
Yeah.
And has quotation marks around it.
Yeah. I was just trying to get an actual. Okay, thank you, sir.
You know what? Roll me an insight check. Any of you paying attention to this conversation can as well. Yeah. Obadiah, you get the feeling, and it's probably because of your background of working with snitches, etc. He doesn't want to quote you the number because it's a huge number, and he doesn't want to like give you too big of a cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't want to cheat you or anything, but like it's such a large number that basically like he doesn't want to give you too big of a cut essentially.
Yeah.
So he is telling you that it's worth a significant amount, but
But he's not telling you the actual
he's not
amount.
quoting you a figure so you can like bargain him.
I know how this game works.
So at this point, but we're about to say our goodbye, she's going to drop the hint that, hey, Shirley from accounting thinks you're cute.
He flushes furiously. And he's got his back to Shirley, who's currently like sitting there, elbow on counter, twirling her hair.
Yeah, she doesn't say it like outright full conversation. She kind of whispers it in his ear.
Yeah. He flushes furiously and just like sputters a little bit, unsure how to come up with a response to that. So is that what you do? You leave him sputtering and blushing furiously?
Yep.
All right, so you guys divide how you want the 600 gold. So 60 platinum. It's up to you guys how to divide that.
I'd assume 20 pop.
But the box is nice as well. The box might fetch like 5 or 6 gold if you were to sell it.
Oh, I'm not worried about the box.
You said there's 600?
Yes, it's 60 platinum. It's up to you guys how you want to divide it.
We could put it in the group loop.
I wouldn't mind taking my 20.
Okay.
I think 15 would be divided by 4.
Yes, 15 each.
That's
Close
better
enough.
math.
I wouldn't mind taking 1/3 of that for this 4-man
Indeed.
party.
My mistake. Math is not what I'm here for. But I guess when we're leaving, actually, we would probably need to discuss what we want to do with the.
You guys
The
better
other
get
thing.
the fuck out of here while I threaten you
Well-
with my 6-shooter while he waves around a 5-shooter.
It's a 3-shooter. Thank you very much.
So what are you doing, Obi?
Well, I guess once we get out of here and we're out in the opening, I'd say so. What do we want to do with this other box?
I say we actually turn it into the Alexandrias.
Well, he mentioned someone named Xander. Does anyone know? I'm assuming he's with that group. That family.
Actually, I won't even make you guys roll any of this. The House of Alexandria is the patriarch of the House of Alexandria is a Lord Xander.
Oh, I'm assuming that's who it is. But if we cut this group out, they're going to be pissed at us. The other group's pissed at us. They may come back legally because we helped him for a mission to find this. Well, you know what? He didn't mention the box at all officially, so.
And
They
we
could-
already completed our mission, so our contract is complete. Plus, we didn't find it on this mission, so we had no duty to report it.
The contract never mentioned a box.
It basically
We-
said loot found.
We didn't find any movement.
No, it didn't say loot found. It said, so I'll need to go back through the specific wording that I said, but it said something about the sort objects or sort persons. No, so sort persons and belongings is what it said. And by sort person it said shit, what was his name?
But we didn't find the
Alos.
box in this area. We found it in a different area.
No, you did.
No, we
you
found the
it.
box.
You found it on the body. In fact, you found it specifically on the body of the soil sample that he took.
Oh.
Well, I could possibly find out how much the actual reward is, and we could turn it into them, but demand more than they want to give us.
So actually, since Thalia's the one that signed it, the other ones aren't bound to it.
The original contract, who signed that?
Thalia.
Oh, we doesn't
Okay.
sign anything.
Okay. Yeah, so technically, you're right. Thalia is the only one bound by the contract. But obviously that's technicalities. There's a as written and as intended. That'll be up to a court of law, obviously.
Well, I can always go to what the hell did I get? My half-orc friend and see if he has any information on how much the actual bounty is for this box. Roraz.
Ronaz is your tough orc.
Yeah, my
dog worker?
Roraz. Yeah, he
At
might
this point,
know,
why don't somebody go up to the House of Alexandria and find out the actual information?
because I don't know if we want them following us back. They might think we have it, and that we don't want them knowing we have it.
They're hiring rat catchers.
Mm,
You suspect that will stop now that the body has been found, and the efforts to find the box will, if the box is part of what they're looking for, the attention will shift to where is the box and who has it.
and anyone asking about the box is under suspect.
And
Granted,
Milo? It occurs to
Yes.
you that as far as you can tell, now that you've got an example of something that has been warded from scrying, it occurs to you that the box isn't warded.
I would. That's concerning, and I would share my concern with the rest of the group.
We don't know what's in this box, and we could always just hand it over to Montgomery, get our quote unquote words are hard, our gold. That's apparently a decent amount, and be done with it. We don't know what's in it. We'll probably never know. Or, which seems to be the easy route, or we could try with much effort getting a little bit more currency, but it could come back and bite us in the ass.
I would want to be there whenever they handed it over to the Alexandrian people, because of that thing that carnival, whatever they were, that woman said to me. Was it a woman?
Yes, it was an orc shaman, and they called her the Oracle. Sorry, no, there was an elven woman who was acting on behalf of like a doors lady for a bouncer for the orc shaman that you guys wanted to see, and she went inside, spoke with the orc shaman, came outside and told you guys that you guys were early, and to return once you've opened the box.
Well, I honestly feel that we should turn it over, get our money, and focus back on getting the butcher and possibly anything else that's unseemly in the city. That's my official thing, but it's a group effort, so.
Now, see, Thalia is concerned. She doesn't want to include the Smithson because it's a substantial reward, and any loot found would be the property of Smithson, and they would get the whole reward.
But Yes, and I understand that, but we now have a contract with them, especially stating that anything found, which we didn't.
It was, I don't know if I was clear or not. It was implied, Montgomery implied that, like, if you guys were to find the box and give it to him, he would cut you in on part of the reward.
It won't be as much as it would be if we could turn it into them, to them directly.
But
But
we'd have another ally.
they would look on us fondly. We probably have it in with that family as well. And granted, if they don't get too upset how we found it, that's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. Instead of
Yeah.
turning it in directly to themselves, earning ourselves at least one more enemy, with that they already will be out to get us. We've already pissed off another group of mercs, and we'll get less money
Well,
to make it easier.
do one of you guys want to go grab the box while I go back in and grab Smithson?
Well, I feel we should discuss this as a group what we want to do before we do anything. I know Alpha wants to be there when they turn it in, which I think is a more than fair request.
Yeah, it's a reasonable request.
Milo, how do you feel?
So one thing is that I guess we're being forthcoming if we do it this way in one sense, but they mention about the box and then we give it to them like immediately. I don't know how that comes across to them. Like,
Well,
why
that's
didn't we
excellent.
turn it in right
Well,
away?
he knows.
We didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know.
I got you.
Yeah, but this way, if we go get it, somebody goes to get it now, then come back, then we can give it to him saying, "Here, this is what we found on a previous journey. We now know what you were looking for. We just didn't know
And we have
it at the
and
time."
we have a reason why we were down there. We were hunting crocodiles.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna assume that they gave us enough of a description about the box that we would know that this is it.
Well,
as opposed
clockwork
to-
box from Alexandria.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be down with that to give it back. Also, somebody's eventually gonna come looking for this thing if we don't turn it in. So
In fact, now that you've mentioned that it's not scried, there may be a chance if we go get it and bring it back, we would need to do it as a group because someone may try to stop us.
yep, and we may be able to try to.
And at that point, then it
You'll-
falls to you, Pop, with your invisibility.
Or, just throwing this out there, if we go back in, get Montgomery, tell him we have the box. Well, you know what? I don't know if we want him following us to Beacon Hill.
Nah.
Oh, you know, at that point, my friend the Dragonborn, yeah, he's playing nearby. We can have him and meet us there and ask him to bring a scry-proof box.
Well,
Yes, Harper is playing nearby. Yeah.
well, as long as we can get it somewhere where no one can scry on it, and we can get it into them, it's no longer our problem. We find ourselves a little bit wealthier than we had been. Earn goodwill.
Would
With the
Milo
least
have,
amount
What was that, Milo?
would Milo have access to lead?
It's not like an uncommon thing to buy. I mean, people know of lead's properties that it's like toxic, but like
I'm
There
assuming
are-
I have tons of lead.
there are uses for lead. Yeah. No, typically your bullets are steel bullets or jacketed copper. So
Okay.
copper jacketed steel bullets. People know enough about lead to know that like not to go hunting with lead because it just like toxifies the environment. And there's a thing about toxifying the environment that really pisses off the elves.
Tree huggers.
So the box, it was fairly small, if I remember correctly. It wasn't
It
huge.
was the size of a small jewelry case, yeah.
So if
But it
we
was-
were to put
was- Abnormally heavy.
if we would line it like basically create a little, like Milo could create a little box of lead, put that in the inside, would it be too heavy to carry?
It would be too heavily to carry comfortably around, just like casually.
Maybe Milo could get like a little, like with all the different disguises and all the other things that we
Like
have a big deal.
I'm saying that it'd be light enough for you guys to transport it by hand, but it wouldn't be comfortable enough to like carry it and go adventuring.
Right.
Um,
So what I'm kind of thinking of is like putting a little box of lead that's a little bit bigger than this box together, putting that box in, and then as we're carrying it around, it'd be hard for people to follow it wherever it's going. And then it would also enable if we met Montgomery somewhere that he could get back to his place without people jumping him and just taking it.
this in character. I actually don't know, but Milo might know because he's mage. Can people scry into a bag of holding?
Same plane of existence, and the bag of holding is technically not the same plane of existence.
Yeah, you're right. No, people cannot scry into a bag of holding.
If we were to go purchase one, well, we could throw the box in the bag.
You know what? That's a little bit too blanket. Okay. No. People can't scry into a bag of holding, but they can still. So think of it as like a masker, basically. Like, they can still sense the like the whereabouts of the item, but they can't pinpoint its location to like a single person or like his belongings. So say, for example, they would know that it's somewhere. So if they were far away, they would know it's somewhere in Helios. And if they were in Helios, they would know it's in this neighborhood, but they wouldn't be able to like pinpoint it down to a person.
We could put some funds together, and then purchase a bag, and then when we turned it in, get our reward money plus the cost of the bag of holding, and we could get our money back. And then it seems to be easier than building a lead box. Milo is AFK for the sec, so
No worries.
just throwing that out there. Because there's magic shops in Helios, correct?
Where are you guys having this conversation, by the way?
I think on our way back.
Okay. Are you guys walking or are you guys taking carriage?
If they were having this conversation not inside the observatory, I would have stopped them.
No.
Yeah,
Me and Milo have whisper, so we'd be messaging each other.
That would leave the rest of you out of this conversation.
No. See, Milo whispers to one, I whisper to the other, and Milo and Thalia are walking right next to each other, so we hear both ends.
All right, roll 1d20 for Chinese whispers.
All right, I'm
I'm
back. I
kidding.
didn't switch microphones.
What I suggested when you were gone. Ow. Good thing he said he's kidding. What I bag of holding, throw the box in there, and then when we turn it in, charge them for the bag of holding, so we get our money back for that on top of the reward money.
Before we make this point clear, I don't think I'm going to allow you guys to have a coherent conversation through message when only 2 people of the 4 people have message. And it's a cross 4 people conversation in the middle of the street without this being absolutely weird.
I would let it get 3 minutes into it and say, let's get back to the observer. But Arthur would stop me. Because I would get annoyed by not being able to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So they have 3 minutes more information about this conversation than we do.
All right. So, first off, when you get back to the observatory, when you cross inside and walk past the foyer, a door opens from the servants' passage, and you see one of the half elves pop their head out, and it's Senil. And he says, Obadiah, there was a missive for you down at the post office box. I got it for you. Hang on a second. And he just like ducks back inside. Comes back out like 10 or 15 seconds later with like just a simple letter. And he hands it to you.
Who is it from?
Doesn't say.
What's the note say?
You open the note, open the wax seal, read the letter. It's from Aelin Dolores.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and it says the gist of it is your offer of compensation is generous, but isn't required. Dalford Ironworks is in the old city, as you know, access to the old city, however, is heavily restricted. The person you would want to speak to is Master Fielding, who controls the Fountain Hall access. Located within this letter is a letter of introduction that will probably, and it probably is in quotations, allow you access to the Undercity, the old city. Master Fielding should provide you with directions to locating the structure. Please follow his instructions to the letter. Silvermongers are the Silvermonger is by law and by design very strict regarding the restrictions of access to the Undercity. Unfortunately, I won't be able to guide you or join you on your expedition, as I'm currently about to embark on a prison assignment that should keep me occupied for the next week or so. Let me know what you find down there. The Undercity is a fascinating place, full of wonders and intrigue. And it just says Aelin Doors.
I will laugh to myself and pocket the note.
Yeah, and within it's just like a small, like another note, much smaller. And it's a brief introduction to like these people assisted me when I was like basically attacked by unknown ruffians, etc., etc. Provide them assistance to what they seek, as long as it's within bounds of law and regulations.
Fantastic.
And you've heard of Fountain Hall? Fountain Hall is like a museum, but like you've never heard of what the hell a Fountain Hall access is, and you've never heard of Master Fielding.
I have not. Now I definitely want to turn this box in because I might need a lot of disposable income.
All right, so you guys have the previous conversation that you guys did in Beacon Hill for a while you guys discuss what to do next.
Works for me, but the only thing different is I have Marmaduke and I'm petting him.
Yeah, you get some like dismayed clucking from the housekeeper and stuff when Arthur you present your soiled clothing, and they hurry off to like have it laundered. The cook brings you Amos Hill brings you guys like lunch essentially, quite bountiful. Dolman doesn't seem to be here. He seems to be either occupied or somewhere else. Archivist Morgan is in the library. Fitzgerald doesn't appear to be here. And yes, the team cook doesn't appear to be here either.
So what do you guys think?
I think it would be good to protect it in some way from scrying. I know we're only going to have it so long, but perhaps this box that I attempt to make would be useful for other things that we would find along the way, just in case people seem to be able to have the ability to do a scry.
You would know that scrying isn't a common thing, which is why it wasn't done already. Like it does but it does require substantial effort to put together the skill, the resources, the materials required to scry something. But it's not rare, but it is definitely like it's not a trivial thing.
Yeah, and I think because it's so important that this is a secret society, we're clandestine in the way we operate a lot of times.
we're finding things that maybe we don't want other people to find, and the fact that we've seen some sort of either with the glyphs or the notes that we found on those people with the flying squirrel suits, or that actually Thalia found on her, that somebody could do this and somebody could be looking for us, or looking for whatever we might have. So it might be a good idea just to have something like this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Obi, before he said he had to go to help his grandfather, said that if you should decide to do so, he'll help you build the box.
Yeah, if Arthur are cool with it, the two of them would begin doing that.
Yeah, so I think it would take you about like most of the afternoon to do so, to go out to like a local smith or metallurgy, purchase some lead, and come back, use the forge and tinker's tools to, like, in the workshop to fashion some sort of like a container. Are you making this container like specifically to size, or are you?
I would like to. Well, I want to make it light enough that it's not totally unwieldy, and that it's not blatantly obvious, like you just have this huge box that you're carrying around town that's made of lead. But at the same time,
you do know that
make it a little bit.
The effectiveness of the lead shielding is directly proportional to the thickness of the lining.
I want to make it pretty small, like just enough to put this box in, just a little bit larger, obviously, so it will fit, and make it thick enough that that I feel. I don't know how thick. Well, I know from other things that I've found that the book that had the
right, the book's covering is about 1 inch thick.
That's probably what I try to do.
Yeah. So roll me in Tinker's check with advantage because Obadiah is assisting you. Nice. Holy shit. Is there any modifiers to your Tinkers?
I would think he'd have include his proficiency at least, and that's +3.
Yeah, plus your intelligence. I'll use your intelligence.
Yeah, plus the intelligence would be +4.
Okay, so your proficiency is +3, intelligence is +4, so it's what, like a 27?
Yeah, 27.
So yeah, just put in your inventory lead line box, small lead line box, quality 27.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so he made this fantastic. In fact, with a quality 27, I'll say that like you put enough like gilding on the outside, so basically it's a box within a box that's designed to hold another box. So it's like the outside is made of like some like copper filigree, like with wooden panels, thin enough to disguise that like the interior of the box is like 1 inch of lead. So you can't see any lead from the outside. So it just appears like a simple, not really cheap, not really expensive, like an inexpensive, like a copper wood or ornate box of some sort, like slightly smaller than a shoebox. And inside is just enough space to fit the clockwork box.
Cool. Milo's pretty proud of it and shows it off to his companions.
Milo, that's wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's with your help.
Yeah, I just held the machine. You did the work. That's fantastic.
That's true. I did roll it on the first roll. No, he doesn't say that.
So what's the plan? It's I think just by this point it's like just after dinner. What's the plan?
Shall we go give it to Montgomery?
Before we leave, right before we leave, like 10 minutes before we leave, I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant. Just to have it around in case I need it, or to hold a box or something. I don't want it floating all around throughout the city, the box, but at least it will be around for the next hour if I need it.
Well, doesn't I don't know if they have a carriage. I know they have a cart. Does Beacon now have an actual like carriage we can take there, or?
You can, and it also has a stable, but you know what? Yeah, no, Beacon Hill would have a carriage and a stable and horses. If you guys wanted to, like one of the servants, like one of the servants or one of the half elf runners.
Thrift, always thrift.
Yeah, Thrift could probably take you somewhere. Obviously he's not a combatant, so don't expect him to like help out with.
Actually, before we leave, we need to send a note to what's his name to come to meet us. Yeah, Montgomery to meet us somewhere.
Let's send Sendor. Is it the other guy's name?
Seymour?
Let's send Seymour with a note for him to meet us somewhere.
I would meet Harper. This way, there's tons of people around that are less likely to hear our conversation.
That works for me. Well, there's.
Meet you guys at the quote unquote stumble in tavern. I still can't get over that joke.
It's an awesome name.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to use that someday on something.
Well, would it be easier to meet us at his place of employment where there's no ears around?
He seemed kind of anxious to not be overheard.
I'm still confused on why we're including him in any of this.
Montgomery?
Goodwill ally, and somebody to watch our backs against Ironstone or whatever it was, Iron Fist.
What could he do to watch our backs?
That seems like a company we don't want to upset. But if you feel that we should turn it in directly.
I don't necessarily feel one way or the other. I just don't feel like. I mean, we don't really need them as allies. We've done good thus far without including them.
Granted, but now that we've taken a contract with them and we turn it in, legally it may come back to bite us in the ass.
Well, did it say anything about things we found prior to signing the contract?
That's the issue. They would say, well, they would make us prove us how we found it prior.
He was watching. Well, I guess he couldn't have kept an eye on all of us at the same time, but they clearly saw that the object was not there.
Well, I personally, it's the least amount of effort to turn it into them and get a cut instead of turning in directly. But I am open. I'm listening to all suggestions.
I think if he's there, we should not pass the box to his hands. It should remain with us. And we should hand it over. But he can be there and he can be in on it. I just don't think we should leave the box in his hands.
Oh, okay. So what you feel is that we'll do it through them, but you don't want to hand it over to them.
If by them you mean Montgomery and his people.
Yes.
We can make it a stipulation that we have to be there when it's revealed.
Well, I think we should just have him meet us there at their place.
If we have it, I'm sure they'll want to turn it in as soon as possible. So basically, we'll meet him there, tell them we have it, show it to them, do not let him touch it, but we will turn it in directly to the owners. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes.
And Milo
I
would
see.
chime in like, what is their cut?
You know what? And if we do this, we'll find out the actual amount of the reward as well, instead of taking the reward for it. So this way, no one gets cut out. We guarantee it goes there, and we don't get shortchanged in the long run. But with that, we don't know if, with our terms, they might not agree and they may attack us.
Who may attack us?
We don't know what,
Family,
what were they, no, what the hell were they called?
Alexandria,
No, not Alexandria, Milo's company.
Montgomery's company?
Smithson and
Milo's.
Montgomery or
Smithson.
something like that.
Smith, yeah, we don't know. They may attack us. We don't.
They
Apparently,
have no legal premise or permit to attack us.
yes, but if we're in their building,
We're not
So-
going to their building. We're writing.
So
we're-
here's the thing, okay? I think it's largely my fault because I've been very, very lenient. But so far, the people that you've killed have all been low-life ruffians that no one gives a shit about. But like, if you were to kill like a tradesman or like someone from Smithson's, like in their office, like there would definitely be legal repercussions. Like there would definitely be police interest.
Wait,
Well,
who
yeah,
said
but-
anything about killing?
I'm just saying they attack us.
So
but
so
it would break
so
out.
the converse holds true, right? The inverse holds true, right? The likelihood of there being open conflict inside Smithson's own office, including where parties in conflict involve Smithson's employees, is extraordinarily low unless they could do it in such a way that like you guys just disappear without like no one ever tracing it back to the office.
They're
Uh,
also not mercenaries.
Oh, that's very fair.
Yeah, they're not mercenaries. They're a company and they're tradesmen. They did have a severed head at their building, though, didn't they?
They did.
I mean, that's part of a job, I guess. But
Well, so what you're suggesting is we go to the house at Alexandria ourselves, if we can get in, have Montgomery come with us, so there's a representative from them there.
Yeah,
and
we'll
turn
have
it in.
him meet us there, and either we'll wait for him or he'll wait for us, and then we will approach the house, and we will turn in the box.
Like it, love it. Let's do it.
I agree.
And what we should do, just saying, is we should get the reward and we should give his company a cut, but instead of vice versa.
I'll turn to either Thalia or Pop Pop and ask them, how far can you send your message spell?
Second.
Or do you have anything that's more, I guess, potent than the distance that will send?
Yeah.
No, I just have message. Same with Milo.
120 feet.
Sending is the spell that you're looking for, and I think that's like 3rd level or something.
And they can't respond to sending, right?
I think they can.
I don't have that yet.
I could
Yeah,
have
then
got
I guess-
sending, but I chose not to grab it this time.
I guess we'll just have one of the runners take a letter to him, telling, or I guess physically tell him to meet us there. That might be fine too, whichever one they prefer.
Cast Skywrite, but I think that wouldn't be very clandestine.
Everyone would know.
Nor would he see it. Maybe.
Nobody ever looks up.
All right, so
I'm
is
down
that the
for-
plan?
Yours.
Okay. So you guys send out the runners, and then you wait for a few moments because otherwise you'd arrive much too early. far before Montgomery would arrive at the Noble District. And then, do you guys wait at all, or do you guys just head straight out straight away?
Was Thalia going to do something? I don't remember what she said.
No, she was going along with group decision.
Oh, okay. Then I guess, yeah, we would wait a bit and then leave.
Okay. So yeah, you guys leave. You pass through the gates between Market Street and the Noble District. I want to roll something.
He's either going to be happy or pissed. And he might bring people. Well, I don't know. Did we tell him we had the box in the message, or just to meet us there?
Just to meet us there.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Actually, let me rewind that a little bit. A pair of guards stop you guys at the gate between Market Street and the Noble District. And they pointedly like interpose like halberds or pikes or whatever in your way, and just say, "Who are you? State your business. Why are you under arms?"
We come to return something.
So this is at the gate to the Noble District, by the way. This is like nowhere. You're not even in the neighborhood yet. You're on like the edge of the neighborhood. Return what?
We are mercenaries fulfilling a contract.
A contract, huh? What type of contract?
Do these guys look like real guards?
Who are you guys with? Yeah, these are like, they've got like so they're like much more ornate guardsmen. So they're wearing like maybe like half plate. They've got like a city watch livery, like high peaked helm. Yeah, and there's a pair of them now, but nearby there's another pair who's like speaking of some sort of merchant on a cart. There's like another pair that's like up in like a raised platform, seated like around a couple of chairs at a table. So yeah, these are legitimate guards.
The details of the contract are secret. We cannot disclaim them. If we have others that are on the way, if you want us to wait for them, they may be able to tell you more.
Do any of these others have papers?
We hope so.
What paperwork do we need?
Well, if your contract is under some sort of seal, ideally they're typically, even such contracts have some sort of cover note that just describes the vague basics of contracts. He glances over at you guys. I don't see any insignia or livery. Who are you guys with?
Just to be clear, Kev, we weren't stopped last time we came in here, right?
You guys have never been into the
Yeah. I don't think we were. I forgot about you telling us about these gates.
We did go somewhere that had rich houses with symbols on them.
Maybe you guys have been into a Noble District, but no, last time you guys weren't stopped.
Then I would bring that up. I would say the time we were here previous, we were not stopped, so we did not think we would need anything to get back in.
Were you under arms previously?
Yes.
Well, the failings of another watch isn't any business of mine. I can't very well let you wander through the neighborhood being under armored as you are, and he like just gestures to like the boots of your plate mail that are like poking through the bottom of your cloak.
The house, it is the House Alexandria, right?
Yeah, it is House Alexandria.
The House Alexandria is pretty powerful family.
He glances at you, and then he like looks like confusedly back to Arthur, who has been speaking the most at the moment, and he says, "And what of it?"
Well, we have something for them that they would want. I'm sure they would be upset if you're holding us up.
Do you want to send one of your people to go tell them that we have something that is very important to them?
Roll me a persuasion check.
That's about right.
Oh god, the rolls today are amazing.
I haven't rolled above a 10 the entire time we've been playing.
The roll.
Rolled a natural 20 on the box. That was it. I think I failed every other thing.
Yeah, and the guard eyes you, and then eyes the rest of you. His gaze lingers the most over Thalia, who for not to offend anyone, for the lack of a better term, are you still in your waders, or what else are you dressed in?
No, she would have changed when she went back to her home. She probably would have changed into her usual outfit.
Okay, yeah. So for the lack of a better term, I'm not gonna say a tart, because that's something that Obi would say, and like,
Not. Jeez. Have some decorum, sir.
Wow.
yeah, he glances, looks you lot all over, and just say, if you're not on an insignia, if you're not on a livery, and you don't have a cover letter, and you have no such proof of such a contract, I can't very well just let you in, wandering around Noble District. Please
What's
get
your
your
name,
paperwork
sir?
in order and come back.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Sergeant Williams.
Thank you very much, Sergeant Williams. I'm sure they will hear. You'll hear of this.
You know what? At
Yes,
this point,
please.
Talia actually plays as Tart and winks at one of the guards.
Which one? Like,
Trying everything to get in.
there's his partner, who's kind of like standing a little bit further off, out of like lunging range. Behind him, she's a 30-ish, like stout, female guard, similarly attired, although she's not wearing her helmet.
Can we tell her what rank she is? He outranks her.
Yeah, I'd say it wouldn't be that difficult to judge. She's some sort of like a lance corporal or something like that.
No, she flirts with the guy, not the girl.
So you're flirting with the sergeant, who's kind of like, he's not being antagonistic. He's just being strictly professional. Like, I can't let you guys pass here if you guys don't have.
Yeah, he's doing his
proper
job.
paperwork.
So Thalia's just passing time at the moment. She's waiting for what's his name to show up.
Okay. Roll me persuasion with disadvantage, just to see how flirty you're being. Watch as she rolls 2 20s. Yeah, no.
Like I said, she's just passing time.
He notices your coy looks, and subtle posture shifts, but doesn't seem to take anything note of it. However, the guard standing like over his shoulder, the female guard standing over his shoulder, gives you like the dirtiest look. Like,
Is there no, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
The when are we expecting Montgomery to show up? Because we have to be with him anyway to
Yeah.
Any minute now he's supposed to.
Any minute now, yeah. But as it is, he says, please, if you can't present paperwork, you have to. I'm gonna have to ask you to make way for traffic. There's other people behind you.
There's no one there, is there?
I got it.
There's no one immediately, but there is like a cart coming up the road.
I
like
mean,
30 or
we'll
40
stand
feet
to the side, but I'm still just gonna stare at the guy the whole time.
Right. Yeah. You stand to the side. He waits for a moment as the cart approaches. He holds up a hand.
I've got
it
it.
occurs to you now that
Kev,
like.
I've got
Sorry,
about,
what was that?
I've got about 10 minutes. My grandfather decides it's now time to come out.
Oh yeah. No worries. We can actually call it here if you guys want, and we'll just pick this up exactly at the same spot last time. But after a while, like after the cart passes through, as you examine his interaction with the cart, like rider, it appears it's just your luck that you ran into like an overly professional, officious gate guard. Which is the reason why I rolled 3 on a 1d100. You guys had like a very low percentage chance of running into like a guard who would like just stop you guys for no reason, and it rolled a 3.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna make.
But Montgomery does arrive. Like after you guys wait for like 5 or 6 minutes, he looks like you guys caught him out in like a little bit of a hurry. He looks confused, like, what am I doing here? But yeah, he approaches you and he goes, hi, I wasn't expecting to hear from you guys so soon. What are we doing here before the Noble District?
well, can you get us in?
He looks like a little bit flabbergasted, like,
Well, we need you here because we're going to go turn in their box.
his eyes like grow big, like his eyebrows go up, his lids go down. When you mention like the word box, and then that's where we're going to leave it.
Works for me.
Yeah, that works.
So I can't actually play on Thursdays anymore. This is the last one.
Okay.
What days do you know you can play?
I think
Yeah.
Tuesday would probably be the only day I could.
Tuesday I could.
Tuesday is my Wednesdays, right?
Yes.
Tuesday can work for me.
Let me look at something. I might not be able to do Tuesday. Let me look at something.
I can't do Wednesdays.
What about Monday evenings?
Mondays, I have another game every other Monday.
I think
But if I needed to, I could rearrange things with that one.
I think
but
Kev
Wednesday's
said he also
pretty
can't
fixed.
do Mondays, right, Kev?
I can do Mondays. That game ended.
Oh, okay. Then I could also do Monday.
Mondays work for me.
Okay,
The only reason I
fantastic.
Yeah, Tuesdays are
didn't offer
usually
this
my
'cause
day
he
off.
couldn't earlier.
Yeah, Tuesdays are usually my day off, along with Fridays. So Mondays and Wednesdays usually work really great for me.
What? I mean, once again, my things are always up in the air, but Monday is an issue.
All right. That's fine. As long as we can work out like a single time. I really like this group, so I'd like to keep it as intact as possible.
Yeah.
Well,
agree.
thanks.
Monday
Thanks for
was it?
playing, guys. This went a little bit sideways from what I thought it would, but still, regardless, I had fun. I didn't expect you guys to just completely bypass the giant crocodile or the so-called.
Oh, I wanted to, trust me, but we were on a timeline. Trust me.
That
I
whole
wanted
thing
to.
is
I wanted to go into that room and start banging on metal pipes with my crowbar. I wanted to go get a bag of dead fish to chuck it in there and just. I wanted to, but. we didn't have
barring
to-
any other occurrences, we could probably do that directly after we finish this.
Oh, I have more important to do now.
That'll
Yeah.
be a guy's adventure. I think Talia has to do that meeting with the net kickers still.
Yep, correct. It
Do
is on
we,
today.
Is
down.
Monday? It would be this Monday coming up
Yes,
at 8 o'clock.
correct. Unless you guys want to play earlier or later, it's fine with me either way.
8 is pretty much where I got to be.
Okay.
That works with me.
All right, see you guys on Monday.
All right, take
Thanks
it
for
easy.
playing.
All right, bye bye.
Hey Kev, would those people, the other team, Team Cook, would they be back by now or no?
They were not back when you guys arrived. If you had have asked, I think one of the servants would have informed you that that they did come in for lunch. Actually, no, they didn't. They sent in like reports that they've checked out like three different places, and that none of them seemed like they were anything of interest, and that they were moving to like a fourth address.
Oh, fourth address. I got you. I thought you said a fortress.
No, a fourth address, yeah. And from
Gotcha.
what you gathered, that I think I told you last time, there were about like 7 or 8 alchemist shops in Market Street.
But they've had like a whole day and a half, right?
No, they've been out. Let me see the timing. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You know what? You're right. I think they would have done most of the alchemist shops by now. Let me think about the timings of such. Yeah, I'll get back to you next week on Monday regarding their findings.
Gotcha. Well, if they're back and Thalia doesn't want to go down to the sewers, we could always take Axe
Barkin?
Boy.
Yeah, I think from small talk of what you gathered, Barkin was the only one who was actually interested in like going back down and hunting the giant crocodile.
Yeah, that's why I only mentioned him.
Yeah, all right. Cool, fantastic.
I'm gonna go finish packing and stuff, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
Good night. Bye bye.